let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway liquid beers of the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's that static AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Good morning to you and happy Friday. It is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and as well on YouTube. If you are watching on the YouTube today, hit that thumbs up, especially today. As you can tell, still no Dustin Nielson, but he is inching his way closer to a return to the show. But I will be flying solo, not entirely solo on the desk here, I guess. Matthew Iwanyk, producer extraordinaire behind the monitors, basically running the show. But it would look good on my year-end review, I guess, on a show to which I'm hosting alone, to say, hey, look, the YouTube, I changed not only 100, not only 200. I think we could try for 300, but hit the thumbs up, smash the like, at least for me. I'd do it for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Dustin Nielson, once again, still under the weather, but he'll be back soon. We're inching for a Tuesday return. That's what word of the mouth says here around the shop. And Matthew Iwanyk riding with me. We got to let you know the Nielson Show is presented by South Fort Chevrolet as well. Drive a little, save a lot right now out in Fort Saskatchewan. Check out Daniel and Claire and the team out there. Great dealership. Tell them EST sent you. You'll get an additional $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle. They won't be beaten on any price. Find the best deal you think you can and take it out to the Fort, and they'll beat at www.southfortchev.com. And we're also coming to you live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, where they're bringing back the big box featuring 2-piece signature chicken, 2 regular sides, and a biscuit with a choice of a drink as well. Nice way to get your Friday going for a little lunch today and or supper for the family. You'll look like a hero at Popeyes. Busy show, lots to get to from the world of sports last night, and lots to set up as well for a busy weekend ahead, both here and far. 780-218-9999. You can get your thoughts in. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. It's the Bling Box. They have locations, 22 stores, 4 provinces across this great country. Large and high-quality selection, engagement rings, lab-created at great prices. You can shop in-store or online, www.parisjewelers.com. They got a great location out in West Edmonton Mall, which I'll be spending a lot of time this weekend as I got some family coming to town, some little ones. We'll be hitting up the arcade, doing all that type of thing, but a little supper tonight as well on Bourbon Street, perhaps. And, a few drinks. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks without Dustin Nielson. He's missed so much. He missed the World Series. He missed the McDavid injury, albeit brief. And yesterday, learning that the Oilers taking Brady Stonehouse off the long... Yes, the same Brady Stonehouse that's been popping up on Orange and Blue Breakfast injury reports for quite some time now. But Brady Stonehouse returning to action. I think he'll be loaned back to the Ottawa 67s. Who had it on their bingo card that Brady Stonehouse would be healthy and ready to play before Dustin Nielson returned to his very show? I didn't. But it's quite the scene here. And we thank Will Fraser as well for his time filling in. I know he'll be back for a few shows in and around Grey Cup weekend next weekend. That matchup will be decided this weekend, tomorrow, in the CFL Divisional Finals. And again, Matthew and I will be diving into that quite a bit during this program and giving a little love it deserves. Two good matchups. I think whenever you boil it down to the Final Four, you got a lot of quality. And I think in compared to years past, it's pretty tough to sway which way both of these will go. I know you can always look to the teams heading in, following the semis, remaining hot. Of course, the Argonauts putting up a lot of points on the Ottawa Red Blacks. Both home teams winning in the semis. The Rough Riders getting past the Lions in a thriller down there in Regina. But these teams, I've said, sitting around for a week, sometimes you don't know how you respond to a team that's had to fight their way into this divisional final game. So Maddie and I will be chopping that up as the show moves on in a variety of ways today. But let's get into the morning announcements right now for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Had a great conversation with Scott McCord and Yukon Jack earlier today. Check them out on the iHeart app as well. And Jess Jackson taking you home in the afternoon. But just recapping the night it was, we will begin, and I will begin where I was last night, the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. The carnival atmosphere once again on a Thursday night. Of course, you can join me every Monday and Thursday. I will be there Remembrance Day Monday for NFL regular season action. The jersey was on the line last night. The scoreboard was getting populated. I want to gaze into my romper room mirror and say hello to Jay and Jocelyn, Francois Lajeunesse and the Dill Pickle Boys. Troy the Godfather was out. Good to see you, Troy. Ashley and Derek, Ravens fans, decked out in the purple. But it was nice to see them on their seasonal debut. Box Pounder and Jackpot Jan, who was the winner of the jersey last night. And I know Box Pounder was taking a photo of Jackpot Jan from I'm not going to say how many years ago, but it was black and white. And boy, was she looking good back then. Still looks good now, I'll say, Jan. But it was funny. We had the whole bar hooting and hollering. Now, my brother Lucas showed up for the second half, which was a nice surprise. Fergie's Prostate roaming around. Norma Jean, who will be firing up her Christmas card collection shortly, for those that know. Be aware. And Dustin with a Y as well, who's looking to get in and pay for the EST pop-up shop here, and your chance as well. We'll have more information on that. It's the final weekend to get into the Edmonton Sports Talk pop-up shop and get all those goods, wares, items, accessories before the Christmas season. This is it. Do not wait. Do not be one of those people coming to us either Monday, holiday Monday, to which we're off, but November 12th, Tuesday, and saying, hey, can I get a hat? Hey, can I get a glass? Hey, any of those socks lying around? Because it won't be happening. This is the final weekend, so get your orders in. We'll have more on that coming up later on in the show. But a great night out at the casino. The smoked brisket cheesesteaks were flying, and the football was nothing short of entertaining, and that's what we're bringing Matthew Iwanyk for his first words. I wanted to get to this, and it's great because the Ravens did play on the Thursday. You're in with me on a Friday. I was sitting with the Godfather Troy. We were saying, you were tossing furniture out your 25th floor palatial suite and then going down to pick it up and collect it and bring it back up with your Allen key, rebuild it, only to throw it back out again. It was a game that kind of went all over the place, a little boring on the scorecard early on, but that fourth quarter just lighting things up. I mean, if you had Jamar Chase in fantasy, you could put your feet up on the ottoman this weekend. I think everything's kind of locked and loaded for you, but Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, we knew there'd be fireworks, 8 touchdowns combined, but like we saw on Monday, not going for the 2-pointer. We now have a team in the Bengals going for the 2-pointer. They need wins. They dropped to 4-6. Ravens, your Ravens, Maddie, improved to 7-3. Your thoughts on last night's game, in which, again, we had Derrick Henry as well eclipsing the 90-yard mark. He didn't get there, but Nelson Aguilar getting the touchdown.
The wheel.
1 catch, 6 yards, 1
Right
touchdown.
early on.
The wheel is just.
No sweat.
I love it.
No sweater.
What a game.
That one just got done. It was actually a perfect game for me. Ravens got the win. I have Joe Burrow in fantasy. He lit it up.
Great.
So I've got a great lead to start my week in fantasy in the Spite League that Dusty's in. That's the league that I'm pretty good in that one, too.
Do we have an update on Dusty in this week? Is he looking good? Did he have any action last night, I guess?
Derrick Henry only 13 points.
Yeah.
He was originally projected to have 118 points this week. He's now projected to have 110 points. But the team he's going up against is only projected to have about 77 points. Actually,
easy schedule.
Here's who he's taking on. One, he's taking on my division leader, so I really need a Dusty win.
Okay.
It's the commish. It's Dusty versus the commish.
Grudge match.
That's what's happening this week in the Spite League for Dusty.
And he's not
going
even here
up
to gripe
against the
about
commish.
it. Can't even gripe about it on
No, this
air.
is the one. He's going to want to beat this guy down.
I think return Tuesday for a triumph.
Oh, and then just rub it in. If I get a win and the guy loses, I don't know how it works. I think I go to the top of the division. So Dusty has a chance to knock this guy down a little bit.
And give you the elevation.
Give me a little bit of an elevation.
Boy.
Dusty's going to want a big one in this one. So in the Spite League, this is a big weekend. Stay tuned to Dusty's Twitter or stay tuned to Tuesday. That's when we're expecting Dusty to come back. He texted me yesterday that he's good to go for Monday. And I said, okay, great. Just don't come in on Monday because we're not on the air Monday.
Let him come in.
He's been off for so much.
Do a dark show by himself. Why not?
He needs to get the rust off. So he needs
chops going again.
Demo.
Yeah.
It's Ravens Bengals classic game. Knew it was going to be close and knew it was going to be tight. I was talking with Jay about it earlier because I think the line was 6 for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I was like, the Bengals will cover that easily.
Yeah.
These two teams play close games. I'm very thankful that they went for 2. I'm very thankful because in overtime, I don't know what's going to happen. And it's the fact that my Ravens defense, they're not a championship defense. They got the one stop when they needed to. Now on that drive, there were missed penalties. There should have been a face mask.
Yeah, another face mask missed late in the game in a primetime game.
But in the end, the Bengals scored the touchdown still, so that face mask doesn't do anything. It comes down to they got their touchdown still, and then they just can get the 2-point conversion. Oh, no, on the 2-point conversion, there could have been a holding call.
I could be holding every play.
Nah, but still, whatever. Ravens got the win. I'm happy. I'm pleased. They're 7-3. They always make it nice and tight. But it wasn't looking good for a moment there.
No, I mean, it was kind of a back and forth, a very entertaining game for the neutral. And for the neutral, in my opinion, in being out late and having to be up early in the morning, I'll do anything to avoid overtime. Anything. And when they lined up
that was
to
a
go
late
for
game,
2,
too.
I know, and it was
already past 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, well, at least this is going to end one way or another here. But look, they were 4-5 heading in, the Bengals. They need to win. I kind of like the call. Once again, you don't want to let a coin decide your fate. In this case, they lost, but so did the Bucks. So who's to say? 780-218-9999. Your thoughts on last night's NFL Thursday Nighter kickoff Week 10 in the National Football League. I know it's a drawn-out phrase, but we're already in Week 10. It's happening here. But thoughts on that? Nasty Chat's humming along as well, and it was nice to see, once again, everybody out at the casino last night. You can join me back there Monday. JCD780. I have Burrow, Chase, and Henry leading 128-0 right now. LOL. Look, it's, as you said with the Aguilar touchdown, it's a no sweater right now for you. You can just enjoy your weekend kickback. Ian Ferguson, Fergie's prostate. Bengals got screwed by the refs. Bad luck several times. Yeah, well, no, it's the best league in the world. I mean, they drop the ball sometimes when it comes to their officiating. I know we like to talk about the NHL and all that, but it's officials. It's officials all around. We'll have more on the NFL picture, both last night and the weekend slate to come with Herm Edwards. He's going to be joining us hopefully around 7:40 this morning. Let's take a dive into the NHL action from last night. A few scores to get to. The Preds lose again. They've dropped 5 of 6. The Panthers win again, 6-2 over Nashville. The Panthers' 6th win in a row. Nashville once again losing 5 of 6, so the struggles continue there for the Predators. Hurricanes remaining red hot. They dump Crosby and the Penguins 5-1. 8th straight win for the Carolina Hurricanes there. Sabres over the Rangers 6-1. Devils dumping the Habs 5-3. Bruins getting past the Flames 4-3 in overtime. It was the Islanders doubling up the Senators 4-2. Let's get into that. Look, the Jets 1-0. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, what was it, his 40th career shutout? Something like that. Second straight shutout. 13th win in 14 games for your Winnipeg Jets. 35 stops for Hellebuck. Second team in NHL history to open a season winning 13 of 14. That's against a Colorado Avalanche team that, right now do reside 6th in the Central. It's going to get a little more testier for the Jets tomorrow when they welcome in the Dallas Stars. It'll be interesting, but they keep passing these tests. We shouldn't be surprised anymore. Gabriel Velarde with the lone goal in that Jets victory. The Wild remaining on their heels, though. The Wild pick up another win. They are 8-2 in their last 10, 9-2-2 overall for 20 points. That's 6 behind the Jets in the Central. They dumped the Sharks 5-2 on the road. And then Canucks, that'll be the opposition tomorrow night. Oilers in Vancouver to battle the Canucks. Hughes 2 points. Besser injured, but the Canucks defeat the Kings for their third in a row. It was a tidy Pacific sweep for the Canucks on the road, defeating the Sharks, the Ducks, and last night the LA Kings. And the Canucks, a funny team as well, but now sitting third. Only 12 games played, albeit, but 17 points from those 12. So winners of 3 in a row, as mentioned. It'll be a stiff test for the Oilers last night, who limp into this one. Losers of 2 in a row and a 6-7-1 overall record. But we shall see. We'll have more on that game. We'll also have a recap of the loss to the Golden Knights with Chris Johnston. He is our hockey insider for Pro-Am Sports. He'll be joining us around 7:05. We got an OV-Sid battle to get to tonight as well. 2 teams going in different directions in the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Will get his thoughts on that. And a decision down south, NCAA Division I making a decision when it comes to junior hockey, and we'll get him to explain that as best he can from yesterday. Going over the menu today for today's show, sticking with your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, we'll get to that's good, or as Will Fraser has been saying, that's good. For the Italian Center shop. That's going to relate to something that happened yesterday. Plus, we'll take a look at the CFL Divisional Finals as I'm breathing clear. You walk in the Italian Center shop today, I'll be able to smell the smells more so than I ever have before. The Crack Pack for Wayne's coming up to end the opening hour. I did have some cards to bring from Wayne's, but we did have some cards sent in by JBB and the Bing Bing Boys, which you can get at Wayne's. So we'll be opening one of an Indiana Jones, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, or Magnum P.I. Maddie and I will test our hand at opening of these. We will not be eating the gum, but we do have some information from Wayne's. You're a spicy meatball. You're waxing your nose yesterday. Now you want to eat the gum. You want to have a chew?
I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would.
What would it take? Money? Would there be a monetary amount that would get you to?
Oh, I would have to just make sure it's safe.
It's not going to do anything. It's right. Like you might get a little
Is
sick.
it okay to?
I'm sure there's enough preservative on it to kind of
from Card Pack.
It's like McDonald's food type of thing, right? Like the whole space experiment. You put it in a container and it stays for.
Oh, there's an article that's what kind of Teenage Ninja Turtles are those?
It's Tops.
Is it marked 1989 on the back? Do you see 1989? Because I found an article literally
1991. So
I've got a Tops Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 1989 that somebody wrote about it. So I'll read into this article and see what happens.
So Maddie might be eating gum from 2010, 30 years back, 30 and change. Get on the YouTube for that one. That's good. The Crack Pack for Wayne's. Of course, some good deals and good offers from Wayne's as we head into the Christmas season. Remembrance Day, of course, coming Monday. We won't be on the air at all here at EST, a day of remembrance. But, post that, you're kind of getting up the lights and thinking about Christmas. So some good things going down at Wayne's and cooking there. Hour 2, as mentioned, Chris Johnston. He's our hockey insider. Coolback Canada hotline of the day. Mr. Lean in the house. So I'm sure he'll be cooking up something. Maybe we'll go a little off-roading as well. CFL Divisional Finals, as mentioned, tomorrow. Full slate of college football this weekend. The NFL picture ahead, too. And the night that it is in the NHL, maybe a Sid Ovie glance. The Fan Zone for Fans First at 7:30. Herm Edwards hopefully will be by, setting up the NFL Week 10 slate and wrapping last night's entertaining Thursday nighter. Kind of easy trivia, 3 questions too many. That hurts for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. And a Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. And we are having a brewer in-house in studio today. I do have the information somewhere here, which I will be digging up here as we make our way through. Randall Gillette, owner and founder of Raven Wolf Brewing out in Spruce Grove. So he'll be coming by in studio. We'll be sampling a few of their creations out there at Raven Wolf. Look forward to that. I don't believe the name doesn't really ring a bell, so I always like getting a noob in studio, or whether it be online as well, but some fresh beer and some fresh, I don't even beer, maybe who knows, might have a few other surprises, but you never know. Randall will be by from Raven Wolf Brewing around 8:30 for your Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, which means your next chance at a $50 GC to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. 780-218-9999 is the number to text. That's your morning announcements. 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Light night in the NBA as well, just 3 games. Spurs over the Trailblazers, 118-105. Bulls falling at home to the T-Wolves, and the Bucks getting past the Jazz. Full slate of NBA action tonight, including the Lakers. Matt's Lakers taking on the lowly Philadelphia 76ers. That's good. Italian Center Shop. Check them out today. As mentioned, I can breathe clearly now. The hair is gone.
Your nose is feeling good?
You know what? And that's what we're going to get to. With I want to kind of split up, that's good, with the nose and the CFL Divisional Finals. But I tell you, I won't do it again. It's one of those things I've tried, been there, done that. I kept the little plastic things. I didn't get a T-shirt. But if you missed it yesterday, Will Fraser was in. He posed the question to us, do you want to wax your nose hair? He does it, monthly or whatever. And he had a lot in there. I didn't really have too much I don't really need to be doing this. I don't know about you. Did you rip a lot out?
I don't feel like I got all of it out or anything.
I don't think so either.
I need to give it another try where I'm in a mirror, looking at a mirror.
Yeah.
To try, because I don't think I got it in. I have small navels and stuff,
he was
so
just...
I think he put too much wax on it for me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get it up there or anything.
And he didn't really care. I was like, is this like... He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
your friend. So I would like to try it again, but with the mirror and doing it like without him. Love Will, but maybe doing it without him so I could just try it on my own and see what it's like.
We had
but
an
then
idea.
Somebody messaged you after and was like, this is not good for your nose or something.
Oh, everybody's going online and finding the dark web articles about like, you wax your nose, you're going to die. I'm like, well, look, hold on a second. I get in my car and I drive here. Like the risks are all around us. But no, I'm feeling fine, I got to say. And Will had the idea. He brought in the wax. He brought in the little plastic things. We said maybe we have a dish here for people coming into the hangout. Hey, would you like a cup of coffee or a nose wax? Because it's all disposable. Why not? But the Italian Center Shop, once again, hand-stretched, house-made dough for their pizzas. The pizziolos have done the hard work, so you don't need to throw them in the oven. You look like a hero in 10 minutes. Again, wouldn't mind going to the Italian Center today and walking around and just sniffing around, because this thing is, it's pure, baby. I mean, I can get anything. I went for a nice walk yesterday to kind of clear it out. I was smelling the air, getting the fresh air in. It was a little raw afterwards, and I can still feel the rawness. Like, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do a nose waxing in the dead of winter when it's like really dry.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think that'd be a good time. But if you're doing it in summer, the humidity and stuff, I think it'd be okay. But I get dry up there. That'd be the only problem. But no, I mean, I did it once. I tried it. The pain was immense. I'm not doing that again.
See, I didn't find that.
And you ripped them out your own. I needed Will to rip them out.
I don't think I got it enough in there.
Yeah.
That I didn't get things. So maybe that's why I didn't have the pain.
You shoved it up. Like you got it. Do you feel like you shoved it? Not maybe as...
I couldn't get it anywhere. But I have small navels or whatever.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have the best breathing. You remember when Uke got his nose like fixed?
Yeah.
And then he was able to breathe?
His sternum or septum or something like that?
I think I need that. Not going to lie.
You ever use a neti pot?
Nope.
No, neither have I.
Nope. I just feel like I don't always smell things the best. People are like, this smells great. I'm like, I don't smell it. So
it's like a color blindness, but in your nose. Look, that's good. I will say I'm overall I'm feeling fine. I'm doing well. But again, it's not something that I would do again. Have you ever gotten your nose waxed? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. Chris G asks, Maddie, are you at the studio? You are here with me in the same room. It might look a little...
And I switched their cameras around because you were looking at me, I was looking at you, but we were looking at different spots on our screen. So I moved them around. So now when you look at me and I look at you, we're looking to the center of the YouTube video.
This is great. Look at you working on the fly. I love it. Maybe not. That's good, and we will get to the Canadian Football League here in a different way. Of course, the divisional finals tomorrow: Alouettes, Argos, Riders, Bombers. But you got some news passed across the desk to you during the hangout yesterday by me, which led to your jaw dropping onto the floor.
This is not that good.
This comes in from Tube Socks. How the hell does the CFL choose the Stampeders Grey Cup bid over the bid from the Elks? That's a real flick to the nutsack of the league's newest owner. They don't even have a proper stadium. And he has a Clint Eastwood picture attached to that text. It hasn't been announced officially yet.
It's happening.
The commissioner's going to be there, the mayor. I mean, you can read between the lines here. But something else has to happen as well. There's got to be some sort of deal in place. Hey, we're going to have some renovations. We're going to do that. They're not building a new stadium in a year.
No, they're not doing the new stadium. They've got to be putting some sort of renovation in. I don't know how the city all of a sudden is just going to say we have this money without it having been reported at all over the last few months. So I don't know where the money's coming from. But even then, who cares? Like right now, Commonwealth doesn't need all that renovation. You got a brand new owner who just took over this franchise. Why isn't he getting the Grey Cup? Why isn't Larry Thompson getting? Why isn't Edmonton getting the Grey Cup? We'd do a better job. And I saw the voice of the Stamps. I wanted to tweet at him. I've been getting better at not tweeting at people for the last couple of years. But
Good
he's
for
just
you.
like,
Good for you.
Well, he goes, well, Edmonton will get theirs. It's a rotation thing, so Edmonton will get theirs soon. And I was like, but Calgary had it more recently than Edmonton.
Yeah,
I know it's
2019
back-to-back
to
years, but they
2018.
had it more recently. So don't give me that excuse that it's a rotation thing, because if anything, Edmonton deserves it before Calgary. I hate it. It's stupid. Makes no sense.
But we'll be there.
There better be some sort of stadium announcement. I'll say this, even though it shouldn't be an announcement of renovation, it should be an announcement they need a new stadium. You can't keep renovating that turd. It's awful. Like Commonwealth, you could keep renovating to a degree. McMahon, you can't. It's awful. Otherwise, you're going to be pumping a lot of money. But you're right. We'll be there.
That's good. Maybe that's not good. That's good for the Italian Center Shop. That's not good for that announcement. Bob Lobalon Lloyd chimes in. The last Grey Cup in YEG kicked the YCC Grey Cup's ass. WTF. Yeah, I mean, we were there for both. We were obviously here, and then we went down to Calgary for that one, 18 and then 19. Look, you know me with my attachment to old Stadia. I don't mind the paint peeling. I don't mind all the rustic charm and look to it. But to house an event such as that, yeah, you'd want more of a spruced up Jewel. And you're right with the whole rotation thing, which I understand in a league of 8, sometimes 8, 9 teams, hopefully 10 someday. You're kind of cool with that. Okay, let it go around the block, but this isn't even subscribing to that theory in which Calgary's had it more sooner than Edmonton here, albeit a year. But Smith TM14 says bad look on league. We all like to gang up on the CFL. I don't know if it's a bad look for the league. It's just it's a head scratcher. Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. It's whatever. But especially here in this market. And you're right. New ownership, dawning of a new day. The only silver lining from an Elks fan point of view is, I would say, a chance to be in your hometown Grey Cup. Maybe this team gets another year to get more competitive for a chance to be in that Grey Cup. I'm trying to pull something positive here from that decision. Andrea from Calgary says it is confusing for Calgary fans as well. We go to Grey Cup every year and until yesterday fully expected to be going to Edmonton in 2026. So maybe you got to rejig your planning there, but it's a little bizarre.
I would find it hard to believe that Edmonton gets it in 27 as well. Because, Grey Cup last year was Hamilton, but then it goes BC, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton. You're doing 4 straight out west?
Well, they were going to do before COVID the Prairie Triad.
It was going to go to 3,
Regina.
though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, still.
But so we have the 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw. You got BC, you've got Winnipeg, you've got Calgary. You really going to go to Edmonton before you had to give it back out east?
I mean, judging by the announcement yesterday,
I guess you
can do whatever you want.
It's one of those, I just find that hard to believe. So I would think that Edmonton's bid would have to wait till 28 almost. Because if anyone out east wants it, you're going to want to throw it out east to a degree. Hamilton won't because they just had it.
Yeah.
Toronto hasn't had it for a bit.
Toronto doesn't need it.
Ottawa hasn't had it for a bit now. What does Montreal do with the renovations of the Big O?
Former future home of the Tampa Bay Rays.
I'm fascinated where they're going to play next year.
Nowhere. It has to be the Big O. They have to go to Montreal. Great messages on this in the Nasty Chat, JCD780. I thought it was a bidding thing. Thought teams bid to host the Grey Cup like countries bid to host the Olympics.
They do. They do now. They changed that.
Do you
it used to be more of a rotation thing.
Yeah.
Now it is a bidding thing. Well, they say it is, but it's also one I think when you could bid is when it's your turn almost in the rotation, you'll go bid.
Yeah, you're not going to throw out a bid when you It's like you're at an auction. You're not going to bid if you don't.
If Saskatchewan's not all of a sudden going to bid for the next Grey Cup.
Wouldn't that be something?
Or like Hamilton.
Get it again.
Hamilton wasn't going to bid right away. Like
Yeah.
it's you kind of know that you've got to hold off on it, and it's got to return for everyone else.
Lucas chimes in. Edmonton has new blood and hope. Calgary really doesn't have anything. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, in terms of the ABC type of vibe out there.
The only thing I would say, if I'm the CFL, the only reason I'm giving it to Calgary over Edmonton is there's a lot of question marks about the Flames as owners of the Stamps. Whether they want to keep it, whether they care about it, whether they have any interest.
But me, the announcement's tied into this.
Well, maybe you're sitting there as the
yet.
CFL, and you're sitting there being like, look, we're going to give you the Grey Cup, but you got to put more effort into this franchise. You got to put more marketing into this franchise. You got to actually show you give a damn about this franchise.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, we will give you this Grey Cup. But maybe it's tied into that. Maybe there's this thing there where all of a sudden we're going to see Calgary Sports and Entertainment, I think it's called. They're going to actually do a little bit more in promoting that team and not just forgetting about them and focusing on everything else that they have. I can live with that as a CFL fan.
In the long
if
term,
that's the case.
More of a,
if all of a sudden that Flames ownership actually cares about the Stamps, then I could live with this announcement because the Stamps need proper ownership too, just like Edmonton does. But if there isn't anything like that, then screw off.
I was reading too yesterday that maybe an outgoing commissioner wants to do a few favors that weren't, and this is unconfirmed, but it's a thought that crosses the mind of you're going out. But now,
but wouldn't that be with Larry Thompson then? The favor you solidified Edmonton,
and
would
Randy
that not
is
be the
a
favor?
former player here and everything. But I do enjoy your theory more, in which again we heard it's an announcement. Randy will be there, the mayor will be there, everybody will be there. You assume it's the Grey Cup, but what else? And what else might be attached to that, and what's the promise kept and maybe the promise made, you get the Grey Cup. But here, also today, we're announcing yada, yada, yada down the line. 780-218-9999. Troll says we have a great city, just crappy facilities. Ha ha.
Edmonton or Calgary?
Clarify there.
Because Edmonton football, like CFL-wise, has great facilities.
Well, if you're talking stadium, I don't think it's really close. Well,
like training, all of like practice fields for these teams, Edmonton's got the better facilities.
Stamps need the money to help pay for the Flames' new arena, Chris G says. Big Uke chimes in. CFL, let's grow the league. Also, CFL chooses literal dump for championship game. JCD 780 says, just make it so the home team of the Grey Cup hosts it. Doesn't need to be in a neutral city. That's, you got to kind of have that neutral party week thing where, right? Like, I mean, that's...
Yeah, you can't do it where, okay, all of a sudden Winnipeg wins this weekend and they're taking on Toronto, and then, okay, we know what's in Winnipeg. How do people buy their tickets?
Travel, planning,
how do they travel? The whole party. Yeah. Spirit of Edmonton can't go anymore. All those events can't go anymore because you can't be like, we're going to rent out 6 different spots this year and hopefully one of them pays off. No, to do this, the one-shot greatness, the whole week, because that's what Grey Cup's about. It's about that whole week.
Yeah.
You need to prepare for that and prepare. Like, we'll get Jerry Haraxi on the Hangout probably sometime in December, hopefully. I just thought of that. I'll get him on to recap Spirit. He'll already be working on Winnipeg if
he's
he already
a busy man.
Right, but like the work immediately starts for next year. You can't do that if you're, we don't know where we're going next year because we got to wait and see.
Troll clarifies he's in Calgary. He or she's in Calgary, so great city. So Dave Minnock, nice to see you. Dave, Commish entered the league as a drafted stamp and leaving them a gift on his departure. So there you have it as well. I knew there was some sort of connection in the back days. 6:33. This is the Nielson Show. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Lieutenant Eric in for Dustin Nielson. Matthew Iwanyk alongside. We'll get to a sports update for Nisku Glass, whom I'm going back and forth with. I need a little glass. I'm looking for a little glass, and they are great, helping me out round the clock. See what Nisku Glass can do for you. Matt has more on that. And the night it was in the sports world coming up in the opening hour as we truck our way through the crack pack for Wayne's Cards. More on the CFL Divisional Finals, more on the night it was in the NHL, and more on the Oilers tomorrow night in Vancouver to battle the Canucks. This is the Nielson Show presented by Southport Chevrolet here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Bengals failed a 2-point conversion in the final minute, helped the Ravens escape Thursday nighter with a season sweep of Cincinnati, winning 35-34. Baltimore improved to 7-3, while the Bengals fell to 4-6. CFL Divisional Finals. They go tomorrow with the Toronto Argonauts in Montreal to battle the Alouettes, and out west, it's the Riders, meaning the Bombers, in Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets, they continue to stay red hot as they shut out the Avs 1-0. Elsewhere in the NHL, Flames fell to the Bruins 4-3 in OT. The Islanders beat the Sens. Predators dropped another one, losing 6-2 to the Panthers, and the Canucks beat the Kings 4-2. Next up for the Oilers, they're in Vancouver tomorrow night. Edmonton Oil Kings, they're in action tonight out in Medicine Hat, while it's a battle of Edmonton at Clare Drake as University of Alberta Golden Bears host the McEwen Griffins. NBA action yesterday, Timberwolves beat the Bulls, the Jazz fell to the Bucks, and the Spurs knocked off the Trailblazers. This ESD Sports Update, it's brought to you by Nisku Glass. Whether you're looking for replacement glass or trying to upgrade your space, Nisku Glass is here to help with high-efficiency windows and modern glass designs. Nisku Glass won't just meet your glass needs, they'll shatter them. Check them out on their Instagram or call them at 780-955-7989 and see what Nisku Glass can do for you. Up next, we continue on Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. I'm Matt Iwanyk. You're up to date.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
You are tuned into the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps and on YouTube today. Hit the likes, hit that thumbs up. Our pursuit of changing 100 continues. Once again, it'll look great on my year-end review for this show, specifically today with no Dustin Nielson. Riding solo on the desk, and Matthew, I want to keeping it locked down behind the monitors today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. It goes a long way, and it goes a long way for you as well, keeping all up to date on everything Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube. 13 degrees, that is your forecast high for today in Edmonton. Mix of sun and cloud. This is phenomenal stuff. Long may it continue, I guess. 3 degrees right now in the city if you are just waking up. Want to let you know as well, this morning the texts have been flying into the Paris Jewelers inbox, and you are texting in for A&W today. They have a deal for you. The 2 Mama Burgers for $9.99 right now. You can enjoy 2 of the delicious mouth-watering Mama Burgers. $9.99 participating A&W restaurants and in Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Devon. Also tomorrow, game day, Oilers and Canucks, which means one of the best deals in town. $5 with tax. You're looking at $5.25 for a Mama Burger and regular fries. So $20 to A&W on the line today. You could be a big winner on the show today. Mr. Mike's Kind of Easy Trivia. Of course, we'll be giving somebody a $20 GC if you did pick the Ravens yesterday in the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge Pick'em. I'll be getting in touch with you. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week in the third hour, $50 to that. So you could be, it could be a big day of winning for you if you play your cards right. But $20 from A&W on the line. Text of the day. Text 780-218-9999 into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Forgot as well, we will be giving you your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyaway to LA. That's coming up in its regular slot here on the Nielsen Show at around 7:25 this morning. So be by your phone there. You won't win the trip, but you'll qualify and get a step closer to a sports trip down to LA. You got the basketball, you got the football, and you got Edmonton taking on LA or Anaheim in hockey action. Rental car accommodations included during the Christmas New Year's season. Let's get into the crack pack for Wayne's cards right now. Pop down and see Wayne's. It's funny, we have this segment here, Italian Center Shop and Wayne's both sharing that nice, I wouldn't even call it a strip mall. It's kind of like a mini small box mall, not even a big box, but lots of great vendors in that location. Of course, Boston Pizza Westgate, to which Tom Gazzola is sometimes set up, and I can occasionally walk across the street to visit him there. But Italian Center Shop, Boston Pizza Westgate, and Wayne's Sports Cards, where right now they got the Advent calendars out. I know Dusty was given a few to sample here on the show. We'll be getting a few a little later on in the season, but Wayne did mention, we do the crack pack every Friday. Not a lot of Fridays left between now and Christmas if you add it up. So go down, see Wayne, tell him EST sent you. Great staff down there. And it's more than just cards. Of course, they got a lot of collectibles, Legos, things such as that. I gifted Trev some of those, what are they called again? They're like giant pogs kind of made it. It's like a jar tin, but it's a magnetic game where you pick them up. But just cool collectibles. I can't. The problem with me is I really fall prey to that type of stuff. It's pack ready type of stuff, but I got to get it, got to buy it. Just need to have around the house. Great conversation pieces for guests coming by. But again, these were gifted by JBB and the Bing Bing Boys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Indiana Jones, all coming from Topps here, and Magnum PI. And I do think gum. There's gum in at least two.
Can
of
I
these.
get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if possible?
Yeah, but there's no gum.
There isn't one in the
There's
Teenage?
no gum in that one.
No, okay, because that makes sense then, because this article I have says in 91 they got rid of the gum in 91. So I'll take
Does
one of the other
does
ones.
it explain why?
Yes, actually did. It said in 91, Topps stopped putting gum in cards after 40 years thanks to complaints from collectors. While many welcome the change, this ended a long-standing tradition of gum and cards coming together, quite literally. So...
Yeah, you leave these in the heat in your
Well,
dash
so what
or
I'm
something.
reading is if it's dry, if the pack stays dry, it's fine. Nothing bad will happen to you. If the packs were damp, then obviously there's some issues that could happen. But as long as the packs are dry, apparently they could be good. So I'll take one of the other ones then.
Matt Hyman says, chew the gum, chew the gum.
What are the other two?
Magnum PI and Indiana Jones.
I'd rather have a Magnum PI if it doesn't matter to you.
It doesn't matter to me. Heads up. Nice grab.
Left-handed.
Once again, Wayne's, you can
that's all
find all of these
broken.
cards. They got any type of old retro show you can think of, and I'm talking like Elf with an A, the alien that ate cats. It's all there, baby.
I love the feeling of these
I know,
packs.
the wax paper. And in terms of like gifts too, you're looking like Christmas season, you're getting those gift games, where you play, just a cheap kind of gift. Getting some retro packs of cards, you'll win the room. You'll win the house. You'll win the party. It's that simple. So let's get cracking here. I'm cracking this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't.
It looks like it's got the same ingredients as this other one. So
Ingredients. There are
I should be
ingredients to
fine.
this. It's not just created in a lab with chemicals. I'm sure if you look on the candy corn package there, you'll probably find much of the same. Little pork resin or whatever it is.
I'll get to the gum right away here.
I love this. I love this.
Oh, I love these action shots. I got Tom Selleck running on the beach.
Oh my God.
There you go, people. Oh, we do need to get you guys a
going on
nice camera.
Friday morning.
Right up on your desk.
Yeah. This is
so you
you're
could
good
do
there, eh?
this.
I got a splinter. I got a rooftop meeting. Give me a shredder.
Look
Give
at
me
that
a shredder.
mustache. For those on YouTube. Oh, they build something on the back.
You chose the right pack there, Maddie, I think.
Oh, we got Tom Selleck sleeping?
It's just Tom Selleck in a variety of positions and actions, I guess.
Well, no, but there's like... Oh, okay, well, some of these have like things on the back.
Is it a puzzle piece?
And I feel like they would be like a puzzle piece.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. Most of those old
Which
ones
is
have
just
that.
fascinating. There's an eye of someone. I think that's Tom Selleck again, too.
It's got it. It's all Selleck.
Oh, and then there's...
All the time.
What is this? Oh, this explains what happens on the front, I think.
Oh, it's kind of your...
After
front
Higgins finished his lunch, I said, "Look, Higgins, we're going to need some help finding those crooks. I looked everywhere. How about TC and his helicopter? Good idea. I'll call him," he said.
Well, sure.
So the gum broke.
So eat the gum. Yeah.
The gum broke.
Oh, baby.
Broke into pieces. So there's the little pieces of the gum.
So it's not melted, at least. You
No,
know that,
and
eh?
it does. The pack seems dry, so apparently it's not too bad. So I'm going to do a small piece. Let's do this live.
That crunch. Oh, that crunch. I got to hear it from here.
I need something to spit it out into.
I
can't swallow this.
just on the ground. I think you're entitled to do whatever you want. He is going straight to the garbage can. This will be file 13 immediately. Did you hear that crunch? Wow, that crunch. Look at you. Waxing your nose one day, chewing the gum from 30 years back the other. Give it up for Matt Iwanyk. Pound that like button for
Okay.
Maddie.
I'll go for. I need some water first.
Water.
That is
Water,
not
water.
gum. That tastes like candy. Like there's no like nothing in it left.
I knew that it was coming in hard there, but that crunch was out of sight. Like, you got to make sure you didn't do any damage to those chompers there.
No, that's fine. It's actually rather soft. It tastes awful. It just tastes awful.
Are you getting any sort of a fruity tone? Is it
No.
mint or no? Nothing. Of
No,
that
just
sort,
like
no.
dust. Oh, the aftertaste is awful. Feels like, when you walk into that old musky house.
It's chalky.
It feels like that, but in your mouth. It's not chewy in any way, shape, or form.
Megs chimes into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. That crunch made my skin crawl. 4 sick emojis. That crunch was. I know yesterday we had the visual of yanking out the nose hair, and I don't know if there's any sound attached to that.
Somebody said one of mine did. Duck Dad yesterday.
Get out of here. That crunch though that you just did, that was grotesque. Was that a tooth? Dex asks. Could have been.
No, it's not like
Your
it
teeth
wasn't.
are fine.
It wasn't hard. Like on the teeth, it was fine. It's just the gum is that hard and it's that disgusting. There's no like in this article I read from. What year is this? Like 2018 or something like that. He said he got like a burst of flavor when he first bit into it, and then it all went away. I got none of that burst of flavor. Although the moment I spit it out is when it tasted awful.
One more pack here, Indiana Jones. It says on the back, it's got a Bazooka bubblegum soft, original soft Bazooka gum. Would you like to try your hand at another slice here, Maddie?
I'm not doing any more gum.
No more gum. Coward.
I'll look at the gum. If it looks the exact same,
Crack it open.
we're going to crack another one.
Why not? Sorry, that was a bad throw.
Oh, no, this one looks more like this one looks like it's got some water on it.
Klondike Chris
Well,
says,
it's like waxed off and stuff. No, this one I won't touch this water.
you're not doing that one.
But I'll take a look inside.
Somebody wants an SD for most disgusting moment. Topping the nose hair waxing. Which
Yeah, no, this one feels like there's been some sort of dampness to it. So according to this article, that is you don't want to touch those.
I guess from a visual point of view, can you describe is the gum different than the other pack?
It looks more flavorful.
Looks more flavorful.
It's got more color to it. So this is the pack. This is Indiana Jones. You can see how pink that is.
Eat it.
Can you see that?
Eat it.
And then that's the other one. So you can see the Indiana Jones Magnum PI.
Oh,
It's way more.
Such a
it's
difference.
pinker.
Yeah,
it's got the color.
Sure, yeah.
So I know
Less
this,
chalky.
This pack's a little damp, so I'm going to avoid it. But we've got the Flight of Doom.
Okay.
These cards are fascinating.
You love it, hey? You love
love
the
these
retros.
more than
You're going to have to
sports
pop it
cards
away
a little bit.
Well, I'm telling you, for Christmas, you just buy a bunch of retro
card
cards
chase.
and hand them out randomly to people. It's a great
Here's-
gift.
Oh, there's no escape, says Indiana Jones.
You are. This is like Christmas morning for you. You're.
I don't know.
The smile on your
they're
face right now.
I like these better than a little bit of the sports cards. A little
Yeah,
bit.
I know. Yeah, it's fun. It's not as serious. You're not like, oh, damn, I didn't get the young gun or whatever.
That taste still.
Well,
It
somebody
lingers. It lingers.
Colin the Amishman says you should have some candy corn to wash out the gum flavor. There is a few candy corn. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
I also
shellac
have frozen
would,
Doritos and stuff.
Well, you'll have to partake in the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. You have no choice now. You want to eat it. I know the curiosity is killing you here.
Yeah, but it's like
And it might literally kill you.
this pack doesn't seem right. So I don't
That's
wanna do
whatever. The wax paper protects it. It's just the
No,
outside
it
that got
isn't.
damaged.
It-
the
it's-
inside's perfectly
When
fine.
do you want me to read
Perfectly
what this article says?
I don't care about the look. Some
I
people
care
sent
what
me
this-
articles about
'cause-
nose hair removal yesterday. I should be dead.
No, this article. This guy talked to some like doctor and he explained what happens if the pack was damp. That things could grow on this gum, and I don't trust it.
RCN says I'll eat anything pink, and he'll probably eat anything damp as well.
There's
Do
not
it,
a
Manny.
lot of this gum. That's a smaller gum, I think. No, that's hard too.
Rob from the Grove says the gum was crispier than dusted eating Thai chicken bites. Was that the crispiest thing you've ever had? It's up there.
Yeah, well, I guess it would be
That
crispy.
crunch,
I'll
again,
say this,
it
it's like
shivers
you
down my
had
spine.
the crispiest piece of bacon. Like it's not hard on the teeth, but it's easy to crack.
So the sound really
That's
didn't.
what it was.
Yeah, okay, I see.
If you want to try your own piece of gum, Wayne Sports Cards.
We've talked about this. I've discussed it with him in the shop. He is not held responsible if you want to eat the gum.
No, but I'm
He
saying go
sells
pick up your
no,
own
I know.
packs.
I'm just saying though, but he doesn't want to encourage the gum eating. Nor do I. But hey, if you're feeling like a risky boy,
Go
or
get your
gal,
own Tom Selleck so you could look at that.
eat the gum. Come on,
All the
eat
people
try a
out there.
piece. Try a piece
Look
of that
how
Indiana
good
Jones.
that looks.
Try a piece of the Indiana Jones gum. You already tried the other one.
'Kay.
You might as well. Come on.
I need
kill
to
you.
get something else. I'm not using my water to wash out. I need something
No, get
more
prepared.
stronger.
By all means, we want to make sure you're right. You're feeling good. Look at this. He's gonna eat the gum. He's gonna get a little palate cleanser as well. Because I mean, come on, it's all space food. It's not gonna kill you. It's chock full of preservatives. Good for your health. Guy in a loader says, "Could you make this a regular segment? Maddie eating random stuff." I would love to. And sponsorships if you want as well. Maybe Wayne wants to hop on board with this one as well. Cracking packs, Matty eating things. Vaughn says, is there no frozen chicken around to take the taste out? You guaranteed he would have already eaten that Indiana Jones gum had there been some frozen chicken from Northern Chicken kicking around here. Very riveting convo, boys. That comes in from Jay Miller. Look, it's the 6 o'clock hour. It's a Friday. This is what we do. We got Chris Johnston, Herm Edwards coming up in hour number 2. He's back at... Whoa, you got...
I've got some whiskey.
I love it. You are getting into it. You're a spicy boy
I
today.
forgot one more thing.
Look, he's going to eat the gum. We pressured him enough. You'll be fine. It's all good. You don't have to swallow it or anything. You don't got to swish it around. The Georgia Satellite says Wayne's Antiquated Gum Emporium. I don't mind that. Do you see anything growing on it? Don't be a snowflake. Eat it. Again.
Oh, don't call me out. Come on down. I will save you a piece, Easy.
Easy, get on
this.
down here.
I got
have a
2
chew.
pieces. Which one do you want, Easy?
Now, are there any physical blemishes on them that you would say, like nothing, no mold? And I mean, again, it's all preservatives. It's all fake food, anyways. We eat worse stuff
like
on the daily.
white stuff on it, but that's just standard.
Dex says cracking packs and eating crap. Matt Hyman says Marty will wake up tomorrow with the greatest mustache of all time. Maybe that's what the gum gives you, hey?
Actually, the one I already ate looks awful compared to this one. Like, it looks just awful. Okay. Indiana Jones.
Good God. That crunch. There it is again. Into the paper. So now you're chewing a little more. Yeah, it's getting it all out of there. Scrape the tongue. Have a shot of whiskey. The whiskey will kill anything that's on there immediately. I mean,
I don't want to swallow the whiskey because I still have some pieces of gum in me.
this is turning into quite the... I'll apologize, but also you can thank me for making him eat the gum as well. Easy says, I don't live in Edmonton. Mail it to me. Maybe we'll get a wax packaging and send it. Yeah, ship it in the mail for you. Easy says, once the piece you didn't touch with your bare hands. Now you're concerned about his hands. Eating gum 30, 40 years ago, but you're concerned about him touching him with his bare hands. Chase it with the whiskey, Matty. They want you to, there you go. Yeah.
The whiskey took too much whiskey too soon.
It'll kill the germ, though. Anything you're putting in there, it'll be fine. So
Indiana Jones
crunch.
was better.
Indiana Jones was better?
Yes. It didn't have as much, like, that's why I was able to take a little more of a bite. Sorry. The whiskey in the throat. I don't know. I found it to be a lot better. It had a little bit more flavor. Not like a burst of flavor, but had a little bit more flavor.
Were you getting any notes? Was there like a strawberry coming through or mint?
Do you know how, like, you have those hard candies that have zero taste to them?
Sure.
And they're just very chalky?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Which had the better crunch? Or kind of the same? I mean, if you had to...
Oh, it was about the same.
Because they both sounded absolutely disgusting.
It's about the same.
780-218-9999.
Bubble.
Yeah, right. It's almost like if you chew it more, it'll just dissolve into a...
It turned into little pieces, and there was no way that was turning into gum.
There's no consistency to it.
That's why it was just hard candy.
Red says, whiskey, 30-year-old gum, candy corn, frozen chicken, beer, and it's only $6.51. This is going to be a hell of a Friday night. Friday morning. I mean, hell, get it through your entire day here. We're cooking here. I'm loving it.
CFL playoffs continue this weekend. Let's go.
Exactly. And it is your last weekend, as mentioned, to get into the EST shop. Shop EST right now, edmontonsportstalk.com. Also, Nasty Club members out there, not you, Atif, but Nasty Club members have a discount code in the Nasty Club for this EST shop. Once again, everything will be shipped on or before December 15. So it should be in your hands by the Christmas season. I know Jocelyn saying she did all her Christmas shopping in the EST shop yesterday. So make it easy on yourself. One-stop shop. Once again, edmontonsportstalk.com. We partnering with our friends from the Hive Product Marketing. Chelsea doing a lot of the hard work on this one. But once again, shop EST. You can start shopping now. Everything is up there. Some things from the past and some new things as well in terms of clothing, accessories.
I got it up.
Perfect. There you go. Thank you, Maddie. I was looking at it on my own here, but you can kind of scroll through, I guess, at your leisure there.
And the one thing is there are different colors for some of these things.
Yeah, and we got the secondary logo up as well for the cap.
So if you go in, there's the different colors for various options. So stay tuned for that. Like the hat. We have the Oiler color hats, but then we also have the River color ones.
Whoa!
And then we have the regular, our traditional snapbacks.
I
Which
missed
is,
that.
These are the traditional snapbacks, which also work for the Stingers. And then we also, on a different page, have the green and gold.
I missed out. I sent you my order yesterday. I may have to make a...
Yeah, no, we did a
few amendments
the
on
dark
that.
blue with the light blue lettering.
If you click
Flat
on an
brim.
item, if you click on an item, look above it.
Yes.
You'll have options on a few there in terms of coloring. But if you are into the hat collecting game, and I know a lot of you want to collect all the EST hats with all the local team colors, again, the blue and orange is out. But that Riverhawks one, boy, that pops. That's
and then
looking great.
For the curved hats, we have two. We have the traditional color, and then we have the orange and blue.
Perfect.
A la Oilers type colors.
Okay, I'm not too late, right?
You
Again,
can change.
shops. Yeah,
I sent a new email yesterday.
Okay, I'll have to add on a few things
So,
because I
yeah.
wanted that orange and blue. I am definitely all over that blue. And is it a black or like a darker blue for the?
No,
for the,
I think it's the dark blue hat with light
the
blue
lighter blue
yes.
lettering. That's gonna pop.
Yeah,
baby.
And then yeah, there's two pairs of socks. So
Yes.
there's the yellow pair and then the blue pair that we have.
I did get the yellow and blue for a special someone out there as a gift. But
When
I
it
can
comes
say
to
who.
like the beer can and stuff, it's logoed on both sides. So that's not options. That's just both sides. Same with the Birdie Boost glass.
Love it.
Those are just on both sides. But for the clothing or the hats, if you see multiple options, there are different options to select from.
If you are listening on one of iHeart or TuneIn this morning, Maddie is going through the shop on our YouTube channel very nicely there. So again, it's very easy, simple clicking, not too complicated. Of course, you got the Birdie Boost shot glass, the 6 o'clock or lager beer can glass, as he showed you there with the logos on either side. The Glue Crew line, which is I do have to admit and confess that I'm a little miffed that we don't have it. The Nielson show. Dusty was churning out merchandise at the old place like nobody's business on his own accord. I mean, he was making shirts and printing shirts. Creed Tuesday, Ryan Rashog, Morning Man did all that stuff. But I do find it odd that the Glue Crew gets their line on the website first.
Because the Glue Crew went and got a logo
Little
done.
cash exchanging hands here, is it?
Glue Crew came to me. He got a logo done by Tube Socks with the idea from listener Sickler. And said, do you think we can get some clothing done? And I said, you want to know something? I'll throw it up in the pop-up shop. Because he just wanted to get some ordered.
I am getting the baseball.
You
team.
gunot a single one of you from the morning show have come and said, we want to get this done.
We didn't slip you
Now,
any money. I get it.
Next year, I don't think it'll be, like, there'll be things that I'll have to try to do a little differently. But I would like to do some more show-specific stuff.
Yeah.
It's throughout 2025, at the very least. Or, like, in the second half of 2025, having some Nielsen show stuff, having some Hangout stuff and all of that. But Jay, he got a logo done. He came to me and he said, can I get this done? And I said, sure. And for me, if you just want to come to me and say, can you get this done? I will work on it. But don't expect me to just do it on my own accord. That's me throwing it back at you.
Again, as I've learned, we have to slip a little more cash through your door. It's a bidding process here. This is much like the CFL and the Grey Cup. You're doing favors for people that you need to appease. I think it's kind of...
I want to answer Timber Woodsman in the Nasty Chat. No pickup option for merch. Unfortunately not. Our merch partner, The Hive, they handle all the merch orders. It gets to a warehouse, and that warehouse gets it all and then sends it all out. So there isn't an option through the pickup. We don't handle any of that, so there is no local pickup for this.
And credit card as well, payment
It'd be just
option.
credit card, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so perfect.
So this is the only way to purchase for the rest of 2024. As we get into 2025, we will have some merch to sell, but that now will be done locally in-house. But for the time being and stuff, no, the Hive's handling that, and there is no local pickup option at this moment.
For the lady in your life or female listeners as well, ladies V-neck T-shirts, women's Milano quarter zip pullovers as well that are added into the shop. I'm loving the baseball tees, both the EST and the Glue Crew varieties. And again, as mentioned, you got to catch them all. The various EST hats, caps, I guess, straight brim all the way. But we got the green and gold. We got the yellow and blue. Orange and blue, and the Riverhawks light blue, dark blue varieties now available. Once again, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and we thank the Hive Product Marketing for everything they're doing, and Matthew Iwanyk for putting this together.
Chelsea, great work by Chelsea.
Great work. Shop EST is the tab. It's right next. It's between the Nasty Club and EST Flyaway. Click on that and shop away.
The one thing I will also say, like for the women out there, I didn't pick the women's clothing. Chelsea did all that. So like it was a women's touch,
You're getting that out
women's
there, eh?
idea.
Women's touch?
She knows what it looks like. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm not a fashion
nor
person
should
at
you.
all.
Yeah, we don't.
But it men's, women. I don't know fashion. I don't know what looks good or anything like that. Chelsea curated that part specifically. So you're in the hands of someone who knows what she's doing when it comes to the women options on the site.
Easy E says you could sell stale 40-year-old gum in the shop. Nielsen Show special. Maybe that's a new
There's no such thing as gum. That wasn't gum. That was
pre-chewed,
candy.
post-chewed. EST ASMR. Yeah, that crunch, man. I don't know. That's gonna give me nightmares. Do it.
We're not there.
Well, come on.
I don't see the 3
99.
digits yet.
That's totally
Yes.
disrespectful.
I don't
or
see it
It's
yet.
not disrespectful because it's 99. We are one like away from changing 100. Hit it before the hour's out. We're not gonna jettison the hour here on stuck on 99 here. You got to get to 100. Got to get to that century mark. Rob from the Grove. Matt, I was also wondering about swag included with the Nasty Club membership. Will you get a hold of us to pick up that stuff?
Yeah, once that's all in.
Changing 100.
Once that's all in, I will be in touch. I'm just waiting for all the merch to be shipped to me. And then once that stuff gets shipped to me, I sort that all out. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
You'll get an email from me.
Troll from Calgary again. What's the website again? EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You go to the top tab, shop EST, boom, right there. He'd like to get a hat to rep us down in Calgary, and we'd certainly appreciate that. Once again, thank you to the Italian Center Shop for That's Good, and Wayne's Sports Cards. Check them out today. He doesn't encourage eating the gum, but if you're feeling like a risky boy or gal today, pop by there. Once again, tons of cards as the Christmas season approaches, and their advent calendars are out right now, and I know Dusty and I, when he returns to the show, we'll be going through that advent calendar, a couple probably, as we near closer to the Christmas season. So we thank Wayne's for that, and we thank the Italian Center Shop. Outstanding first hour of the Nielsen Show. No Dustin Nielsen, as the plan is he'll be back Tuesday. Of course, no programming here on EST. Monday, November 11th, Day of Remembrance here, and we will continue on. Hour number 2 shaping up. Business like, you know how we do in the 6 o'clock. You got to conch there. Conch everybody. Conch yourself, Maddie, for eating the gum, for crying out loud. Come on now. Chris Johnston of The Athletic and TSN will be by just after the top of the hour. Mr. Lean will have the Coolbet Canada hotline of the day, the Fan Zone for fans first, and your next chance as well to qualify for the EST Flyaway to LA. That's coming up in between Coolbet and the Fan Zone. We'll hopefully round out the second hour with our NFL analyst, the coach, Herm Edwards. He'll be returning to the show as well. This is The Nielsen Show, iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, and on YouTube. No Dustin Nielsen today. Lieutenant Eric Matthew Iwanyk in. You are listening to it live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
A Bengals failed 2-point conversion in the final minute helped the Ravens escape Thursday night with a season sweep of Cincinnati, winning 35-34. Baltimore improves to 7-3 on the season, while the Bengals fall to 4-6. CFL Divisional Finals go tomorrow with the Toronto Argonauts in Montreal to battle the Als, and out west it's the Riders meeting the Bombers in Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets, they continue to stay red hot as they shut out the Avs 1-0. Elsewhere in the NHL, Flames fell to the Bruins 4-3 in overtime. Islanders beat the Sens. Predators, they dropped another one, losing 6-2 to the Panthers, and the Canucks beat the Kings 4-2. Next up for the Oilers, they're in Vancouver tomorrow night. Edmonton Oil Kings, they're in action tonight out in Medicine Hat, while it's the Battle of Edmonton down at Clare Drake later tonight as well, as it's the University of Alberta Golden Bears hosting the McEwen Griffins. And NBA action yesterday, the Timberwolves beat the Bulls, the Jazz fell to the Bucks, and the Spurs knocked off the Trailblazers. This Edmonton Sports Talk update, it's brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services, whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential. Plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292. Up next, it's hour 2 of the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. I'm Matt Iwanyk. You're up to date.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
7:04. It is the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com on YouTube. As we are changing 100, thank you very much for that. Hit the sub as well if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. And if you're listening this morning, whether it be on our website or iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, good morning to you. A pretty good day shaping up here in Edmonton. 13 degrees for a high, under a mix of sun and cloud. 3 degrees as you're waking up this morning. Dustin Nielsen still away, still sick. Lieutenant Eric and Matthew Iwanyk with you, and we'll be joined now by our first guest of the day. It is Chris Johnston, TSN and The Athletic. He is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Have the boys at Pro-Am sew a name and number on your jersey, current name, legends, or even your own. Visit the men's store to get it sewn up, located in Edmonton, corner St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, online at proamsports.ca. As we welcome in Chris, nice to see him. No cap today, a capless Chris. What's going on with that? Somebody's muted. Who is it? Could be on our end, Chris. Bear with us.
No, I've got him unmuted here.
We got you unmuted.
And I'm not getting anything.
Not getting anything. Maybe we have to reconnect?
Oh, no.
There he goes.
Well, let's see if he pops back in.
It was the cap question that really kind of set everything off. Should have went straight to the business. Chris Johnston will be by. Oilers Canucks tomorrow. You got Sid and Ovi meeting up. We'll go over the full docket of games yesterday. As well, an interesting decision off the ice. NCAA Division I Council voting to make CHL players eligible. We'll get Chris to explain that in the layman's terms and what that means for both players up here, players down south, both the NCAA and the CHL as well. As we work to get Chris Johnston back. It was the cap thing, man. Anytime I try to play a little with guests, it just seems to go off the rails. Stick to the business. Stick to the business. 780-218-9999 is the number to text in. Grumpy Cat, don't forget to mark down potential round of the year for Reed yesterday about Canada West basketball. I missed that one. Fill me in on that, Grumpy Cat. Look, anything you need for the Esties, anything you may have picked up that somebody would have missed, let us know. We'll put it into the giant spreadsheet. It's going to be a long year. There are going to be a lot of rants. There'll be a lot of moments. There probably won't be a lot of nose hair waxing and gum eating. Oh, here we are. We heard a Chris. A wild Chris Johnston appears. There you are.
I think we got him.
Let's bring him in. Did you hear my question about the cap? I know that whole set the whole electronics off here, but...
Yeah, I did. I have a morning skate to go down to after we're done this. So I had to get out of bed, have a shower, and get dressed before doing the hit instead of just throwing the cap on like our usual Friday routine.
Playing adult today. I love it. You are a pro's pro, man, and that's it for the fun. Let's get down to business. We don't know where we're going unless we know where we've been. Oilers Canucks tomorrow. I wanted to get your thoughts on the midweek loss to the Golden Knights as well. It kind of, to me, much like the New Jersey loss on Monday, although not getting shut out, but, you make a few mistakes against a really good team and it's going to end up biting you in the butt.
Yeah, and it's a team you expect to see down the line, a team that has similar aspirations, a team in the division, a team that was trailing in the third period. I mean, all the things I'm sure everyone knows that don't sit well. And I think if you're going to look at the glass a little half full, is you hope that is a bit of a wake-up call. Obviously, losing a game in that manner, not even finding a way to get through the final minute and get a point at least, I think will be one that stings a little extra. And you get right back on the horse. You're going into Vancouver. And we all saw what those teams did last year in the playoffs. I think there's a real rivalry there, and it's another good team that I think will make for a game that hopefully you see a little bit more of Edmonton's best. It just feels like to me we have yet to see the best of the Oilers or anywhere close to it through this first almost month of the season now.
Yeah, the penalty kill is still where it's at. The scoring is still where it's at. I think also, there are a lot of people talking about Evan Bouchard tonight, left in no man's land a couple of times there. I know goaltending, although it shouldn't get the blame, because this team isn't scoring, that's kind of the DNA, is to outscore the opponent. But did your Aiden Hill, Stuart Skinner matchup on that Wednesday, and I know a lot of people looking forward to the Four Nations, did your picture of goaltending for Canada get any more clear following that night, or just kind of remaining the same and these two guys having a bit of a stalemate off on Wednesday?
Yeah, my view is I think we'd probably all agree Jordan Bennington's going to be one of Canada's three goalies. I think Aiden Hill probably has the edge for the second spot. And then I really do believe there's a bit of a toss up in terms of what they're going to do with that third position. I mean, there's still 3 weeks until they have to make the final call on the team. And while that isn't a lot of time, how we feel about either Stuart Skinner or maybe Samuel Montembeault in Montreal, Cam Talbot, who's had a pretty nice start to his year. I mean, all those other guys that I think will be in the mix, Darcy Kemper, will be part of that conversation. Part of it might be on just who's in the hot hand. And so, I don't know how much of a priority the tournament is or isn't for Stuart Skinner, but certainly he's in the mix. And I think the fact that Hill has that Stanley Cup win, as does Binnington, as does Kemper. I think, Canada, obviously, the reason there's so much fretting about Canadian goaltending is when you think about the guys that usually play for Team Canada, we've had Carey Price and Brodeur and Luongo and Patrick Waugh, if you go back. I mean, it's always been surefire Hall of Famers, but, Canada does have good goaltenders, players that have won huge games behind good teams, great teams. And obviously, I think the Canadian skaters will make for a great team in front of them. So, there's lots to choose from. It's just not as obvious of choice as it has been in the past.
Let's get into tomorrow night's game for the Oilers. They're going into Vancouver facing a Canucks team who had a pretty tidy Pacific Division 3-game trip. Wins against the Ducks and Sharks might not light the world on fire, but defeating the Kings as well. Brock Besser picking up a bit of a knock. What can you tell fans, listeners, and viewers this morning about this Canucks team that the Oilers will be facing tomorrow?
Well, they're feeling pretty good about where they're at, especially since they've played this portion of the season without Thatcher Demko, who's still working his way back from that injury that limited him last year in the playoffs. And so, I think if you'd offered them the start they have a month ago, they probably would have taken it. Elias Pettersson still hasn't got up to, there's a lot of fretting about where he's at because his level hasn't been where they'd expect and what they're frankly paying for now after giving him that big extension. But, Quinn Hughes is helping drive things as always. Besser's, having a nice year. It's a contract year for him. So there's a little extra fire, I'm sure, in the belly, a little extra push for him. And really they've been able to cobble together this start while waiting for Demko's return. And, what they hope will obviously be the start of even better play to come.
The Nashville Predators, they dropped another game last night. It hasn't been the start of the season that the Preds have kind of been looking for. I know Barry Trotz this week out in Nashville. He kind of said that if things don't turn around, a rebuild they might have to look into. What is a realistic possibility for the Preds to be able to do if they can't get things turned around quickly here?
Well, short term, my impression of their plans is it's not a rebuild in terms of tearing things down. I think that it's a remodel that they're looking right now to bring in specifically some help at center. And you look at their offseason, signing Marchessault and Stamkos, two players that play wing at this stage of their career. They already had Philip Forsberg there. Gus Nyquist has been a pretty good contributor for them on the wings. Like they have their wing position set, but they haven't been able to find the right mix down the middle. And after Ryan O'Reilly, they just feel they don't have a true second line centerman. And so I think short term, you're going to see some sort of trade be made by Barry Trotz. I mean, clearly he's frustrated. The organization's frustrated. I think there's a lot of onus on the GM in this case to try to, give the coach a little bit better lineup, I guess, to work with, one that can be balanced a little better. Beyond that, who knows where it goes. I mean, they've dug themselves a massive hole. I'm not worried a lot about these teams like the Oilers around 500, but when you're 4-9-1 at this stage, it's just, you got to go on a pretty big winning stretch. I mean, kind of like what we saw at Edmonton last year to get out of this and be a playoff team. And so, I think that that's probably the situation in the league right now that has the most urgency. I think Trotz is trying really hard to make a trade. And, you're going to see some change there because I don't think they can just say, hey, this is going to course correct here over time.
Well, in a really top-heavy, Central Division as well for the Preds, who find themselves rooted at the bottom. It's another week. It's another conversation with you, and another, Jets victory last night, albeit 1-0, but taking care of the Avalanche. They get the Stars tomorrow. Plus 33 goal differential, just blowing the other teams out of the water. When and how does this end?
Well, I don't want to predict it's going to end for the good people of Winnipeg, but sure. I mean, let's face it, no team, I don't think they're going to go through the year with a 70-12 record or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's people there that live and die with the daily, Jets news, and they're worried that this is too hot a start, almost like you're just worried that too much is going too well too soon. Really balanced team. They've gotten, Kyle Connor has been unbelievable to start the year for them. I think what's interesting with the Jets is we can't really necessarily point to an offseason move or anything. I think that they've collectively just found a higher gear with some of the players that have been there for a long time. Connor Hellebuck's had a really strong start to the year as well, which, obviously when you have that level of goaltender, when he's dialed in, when he's at his best, he's going to give them a chance in any playoff series that they're in, certainly in any individual game. And so, everything has gone right so far. They've had, pretty good luck with injuries. Obviously, their top players have all got off to really nice starts, putting up points, and that's how they've racked up all those wins. And I think what'll be, what I'm watching for next is sort of what the next phase of the season looks like. Obviously, I don't believe they can keep this kind of run going. And then, what management does, because it's a really big year in Winnipeg. Nikolai Ehlers is in a contract season. They're still having some attendance issues. It's gotten a little better from where it was last year, but, I think that there's a lot of pressure on that organization right at the top levels to try to ice a team that can win a Stanley Cup. And so, full credit to them. They've had a tremendous start, but I'm sure that there's going to be some tougher days along the road here for them.
I'm glad you mentioned the attendance issues because we were having that discussion on the show yesterday. Yesterday, big game between the Avs and the Jets. They still don't get over 13,000 fans. How concerned is the NHL right now when it comes to the attendance at Winnipeg games?
My sense is the NHL isn't too concerned just yet because the Jets have been very communicative about why they're at where they're at. I actually had a chance. I went last season, and sat down with Mark Chipman, the Jets owner, to talk about this topic for a story I wrote at The Athletic. And, really what he identified at that time as their biggest challenge is they don't have much of a corporate ticket base, especially when compared to what you see in other marketplaces. And so, when they don't have the companies buying up a lot of tickets, it's just a lot of actual tickets to sell to people that, let's face it, the economy's tough. A lot of people feeling the effects of inflation. Might just not be a priority to spend a few $100 on a hockey ticket on a Tuesday night in February. So it's definitely a concern. It's all, I get the feeling even last year, but even into this year, that it's at the top levels of that organization. It's all they're focused on, in a sense, is how do we win back customers? How can we, they've spent a lot of time in their corporate community trying to get, companies more on board. And, ultimately I think having a winning team will help. But it's not the only thing. It's not the only issue. There's issues in that city, and let's face it too, it's also the smallest market in the league. And so you put all those factors together, and it's made for a challenging situation. But, we're not at a point where we're talking about them losing the team again. It's, it's not that level of crisis, but I don't think we can ignore it either, because they've won a lot of games, frankly, the last 2 seasons. And, they still haven't seen a meaningful uptick in those attendance numbers.
Chris Johnston joining us this morning from The Athletic and at TSN, brought to you by Pro M Sports. Sticking with kind of the business of the game, and yesterday the NCAA D1 Council voting to make CHL players eligible. If you could just kind of break this down for us, make it into layman's terms, if you will. Who does this benefit? Who may this hurt? What does this mean for junior hockey, both up here and stateside?
Well, the real benefit has got to go to the players, because in the previous system, or the existing system that we have, at least until next, spring and fall, a player has to decide, do you want to go the major junior route? Obviously in the Western League, that can be as early as age 15. Generally in Ontario and Quebec, it's age 16, but still as a pretty young person, you've got to decide if you want to, go play in the Canadian Hockey League. And if you play even one game, I believe if you play even one period of an exhibition game in the old rules, you couldn't then, later accept a scholarship to a U.S. university. And that's all changing. And so I think there's all kinds of benefits here. I mean, a 16-year-old now can go and play for Red Deer and have a career. And maybe, he decides like he's not ready to turn pro and try to, jump right into the American Hockey League or the NHL at 18 or 19. He can go and get an education down south and play in the NCAA. I mean, I think we'll see more late bloomers as a result of this. I just think it's more optionality if you're a player. Am I back?
Yeah, you're froze up for a bit. Yeah,
I was going to say, the NIL situation in the U.S., I don't know how much people followed that, but essentially college athletes can now get paid. And so this also means there's going to be some opportunity, I think, for more hockey players to make more money, frankly, before they even get to a spot where they're having a pro career. So, it's great for the players. The fallout for the leagues, it's too soon to say. Because they haven't really established how the rules are going to work. I mean, I'll give you an example. if the Oilers made a draft pick, in 2022, if that player was in the Canadian Hockey League, they had 2 years before Edmonton had to sign them to keep their rights. If that draft pick was playing in the NCAA down south, they had 4 years before they had to sign that player. I mean, I don't know how that will all change when basically you have players going back and forth. So I can't say it's going to necessarily hurt the CHL or help or not. But certainly the real winner here is players. So I think are just going to have more options for their career, for their education, and, for some of them, for their pocketbooks.
Player power, and we love to see it, and we love to see you again, Chris. You're looking fantastic. Go kill it today. Have a great weekend, man, and enjoy things. We'll talk to you next week.
Looking forward to it. It's Hall of Fame weekend here in Toronto, so always fun. Lots of familiar faces in town, and Shea Weber and going in on Monday.
Love it. Chris Johnston, TSN and The Athletic. We appreciate his time this morning. Brought to you, as always, by Pro-Am Sports, and we want to let you know at Pro-Am, have the boys sew a name and a number on your jersey, current name, legends, or even your own. Maddie, you love the personalized jerseys, hey, with your own name on it.
I've only done that once.
Have you done it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you would be totally against that type of thing.
No, when I was, it would have been like 05 or something.
Hockey jersey, football?
Elks. Eskimos, I guess, at the time. It's got a Iwanyk on it.
Does it? Really?
It's the only one I've ever done.
You should wear it out to the Dunya AGM, just for fun.
I actually got to get that, working on that.
I know, yeah. You can visit the boys at Pro-Am in-store to get it sewn up, or you can request online at proamsports.ca. They are located at St. Albert Trail, 128th Avenue. Love the cooks and boys out at Pro-Am, and check them out for your sports memorabilia and apparel. 7:20, we'll get into a Cool Bet Canada hotline of the day. If you got anything you want to get off your mind from our conversation with Chris, once again, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, or in the nasty chat. Come hard after that text of the day for A&W as well, $20 on the line to A&W. Han Shorkoff says another con into this NCAA CHL kind of Canadian hockey player conversation. CIS hockey, U Sport, will take a hit as well, which I don't like to see. Look, all power for the player, which I think in modern day terms you want to see, whether it's NCAA, whatever. But it's what's going to happen to these bodies, these leagues, these, how does that, and as Chris said, you kind of don't know yet. You kind of got to see it play out into the future, but hopefully not a big hit for U Sport. The Wolf says, I love the new NCAA stuff. It's really allowing a younger hockey player to set themselves up for success in the future if their hockey career doesn't grow, I think was the term he's trying to get past there. Dr. Dry says, I don't like it. My nephew could have gone WHL, but wanted to end up NCAA, so he's stuck in the AJHL. So, I mean, this is kind of a moving forward thing, but sure. I think a lot of people, and you could saw this either way depending on your situation. And once again, from a league body and from a individual's point of view as well, pros and cons are abound. Any thoughts on that as well, Maddie, until we move on here?
I haven't done enough reading on it to see all the ramifications of it all. But I am one, if players can get paid, I'm all for it. I could go just relate it to the NCAA football and basketball and what we've seen down there. And I'm all for that. I'm all for, if everyone else in any other walk of life, they can go get theirs if they want to. So I have no problem with younger hockey players being able to go get theirs. But I do know that this is, for me personally, at the very least, a big fan of Golden Bears and U Sports.
Yeah.
I know that this might impact them and their ability to recruit and stuff like that. So that would be disappointing.
Yep.
But it's not about my entertainment. It's about what's best for these players in my mind. And if this is what's best for these players, I'm happy for them.
And if the players get what's best for them, your entertainment will certainly, that's kind of the formula there. It should increase, arguably, if the players are getting treated better. So, but again, as Chris mentioned, we'll see what the future holds for that and the sports bodies and the leagues that house hockey. 780-218-9999. We will have your keyword as well coming up, albeit briefly, for the EST Flyaway to LA, so be by your phone for that. You'll text in the keyword and then be by your phone, and Maddie will be giving one of you a call. You'll be the next qualifier into that trip to LA. But a Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. Once again, coolbet.com is where you can go. Stay cool, bet responsibly with our friends at Coolbet. The wheel, I'm looking right at it right now. You usually keep it under the desk, but I'm staring at that puppy. It is hot. Nelson Aguilar, 1 catch, 6 yards, and a touchdown last night. He was our anytime touchdown scorer with the wheel. The wheel is just, the wheel is right, the wheel is always on, and you can always be on as well. Coolbet.com. Mr. Lean, your Ravens looked pretty mean. I don't know. I'm trying here, but what do you got today for any bit of a lean or something? Where are you going?
The hotline of the day, I'm looking tomorrow. and I'm going to the Canadian Football League.
Aha.
And it's the Argos, it's the Owls. I'm looking right at the money line.
You're going east. I love it.
I talked with Huss on the Lock Shop a few days ago. Argos at plus 115. That's your hotline of the day / the weekend. The Argos have been, like, we know about CFL playoffs. It's about getting hot at the right time.
Exactly.
The Argos have gotten hot at the right time, but also the Owls have gotten cold at the wrong time.
They don't need to. They've had this thing sewn up mid-season, right?
Since August, or since Labor Day weekend, they've won 2 football games, both those against the Ottawa Redblacks. That's it. They even tied the Calgary Stampeders, and we saw in Edmonton what the Stampeders are. The Elks go beat them 3 times. The Owls aren't playing good football, and the Alouettes, or the Argos are. And with that, they want redemption from last year. I know, what is it? Molson Stadium. It's going to be sold out.
Well,
both finals are sold out this weekend.
Too.
The Horns will be going. The fans will be going. But I think Chad Kelly, who had his career worst game last year in the East Final at home against these Owls, he's got a little bit of redemption on his mind in this one.
That offense is lights out right now. You talk about staying hot.
You've got Kadeem Carey, who's doing great things. I really like the Toronto. The Red Blacks kept it close through the first half. They had the lead, I think, going into halftime last week. That
decision by Bobby Deist for that kind of seemed to...
But then what happened to the Argos in the second half? They turned it on, and they poured it on. That is a good offense. That is a tough offense to stop. The Owls have featured a lot of injuries this year. You know, there's no Tyson Philpott. They lost some guys defensively. So the Argos plus 115 on the money line. That's your cool bet hotline of the day.
As you mentioned, plus 115 for the Argos. You can get it on that. Montreal Alouettes -2 as well for the day. Looking to the west if you want to kind of match it all up here and make a little parlay. Riders plus 175 on the money line. Bombers -3.5 in the spread on that one in the West Final. As you mentioned, both sellouts in Winnipeg and Montreal. The Horns will be going in Montreal. It'll be wild in Winnipeg. You just know that. Plus, they got that Jets Stars game earlier in the afternoon. It's a big day in the Peg for sports. And a big day for Canadian sports fans as well, given the hockey Oilers in action later that night. But I like these Saturday games. I know you and I are having a bit of a debate around the office, whether it's Saturday, Sunday. This league has gone both over the past, decade and change. It does get me away from my college football viewing, I'll say that. But I do like that it's kind of, you can get a little nuts on a Saturday, and I don't mind that at all. Sunday, I think, are for the Americans. They somehow like having their sports on the day. They like having games on a Monday where I like having it on the weekends. Give me Friday night football. Give me my Saturday divisional semis or divisional finals. I'm all for it.
It's tradition for me this Sunday.
I know.
I love the Sunday. I love having my weekend. Then on Sunday, I wake up knowing, we got a couple CFL playoff games. And look, football's my favorite sport. I love the CFL, I love the NFL, I love NCAA, I love watching them all. There was just something about those 3 weekends in November where it was Grey Cup week playoffs. Last weekend, this weekend, I love the NFL, but I wouldn't care that much those weekends. It was all watching CBC or TSN for all these years, watching the 2 games. And then Grey Cup Sunday, to me, Grey Cup Saturday and Sunday. I'm just glued to the coverage from start to finish. I just can't get enough because it's also the end of the CFL season. That the NFL, it's still there's lots of time. There's lots of football left. Like this is week 10. There's week 11 next week. There's week 12 through 18 after this, plus playoffs. There's a lot of NFL to go. So for me, I'm more than happy with with it being on the Sunday. But I haven't mind the Saturday. I wish they were. Like the times are good, 1 and 4:30. They work. I wouldn't mind a little more prime time for us out here.
Well, you also got the U Sport football Final 8, the Elite 8, if you will. Montreal visiting Laval, Western at Laurier. You got St. Mary's visiting Bishops.
Been a big battle, Saskatchewan.
And all Saskatchewan affair in the Hardy. The Regina Rams pulling one out, sending Brian Doby off into the sunset with a surprising win in Winnipeg. They visit the Saskatchewan Huskies. So you got Canadian college, you got the U.S. college, and you mentioned too your Washington State Cougars, or I mean you're on the edge here. You're 20th ranked. You're dreaming of a playoff spot.
Well, my number 1 team is the Hurricanes, first and foremost.
It's whoever's riding a
no, it isn't.
shotgun.
It's always been the U. It's always and it'll always be the U. They're looking to stay undefeated. They're 4th ranked. Trying to be 10-0, 10 o'clock in the morning. They need to beat Georgia Tech. The path is there. Finally, maybe
See,
we
so
can
you
win.
still got 10 in the morning. You still get your college game. Then you can enjoy your CFL.
I got
you got
that.
a full slate. It's
Well,
great.
last week I came into the office and I was having to watch the end of the Miami game and I was missing the start of the CFL game because I was finishing that game. But my Cougs, that's the other team though. It's like their only losses to Boise State this year.
Who are a ranked team.
What are they ranked at the moment right now? They're ranked, I got to get the official, they're 12th in the nation. And then they have a big win against Texas Tech, who just had a major win themselves this past weekend, taking down number 11 Iowa State. So they've got a nice signature win. If the Cougars could remain undefeated, Utah State, New Mexico, Oregon State in the big Pac-2 conference game, and Wyoming. And then
The Cowboys of Wyoming, hey? Ooh,
the Cowboys,
tough.
and then if they could get a little bit of help, maybe they could sneak in as a number 12 team. If they didn't lose to Boise, they would have been a playoff team.
It's all up for grabs in the NCAA because that playoff picture is the parity this year is great. I think you could argue there may be a little bit of top heavy schools.
Yeah,
but I'm gearing up for the playoffs. I think it's going to be very fascinating.
I also love Sorry, Luke. I love that all the teams that ditched the Pac-12 because they tried killing
You've been
the
keeping
Pac-12.
an eye on it. Hey,
Keep an eye on it. USC 4-5 this season. They kill the Pac-12 to go 4-5.
It was never
going to
be easy. It was never going to be easy.
Washington 5-4 this season, including going to Rutgers. Where else did they go? They went to Rutgers. They went to Iowa. They went to Indiana. That's what they have for losses this season. You killed the Pac-12 to have those losses when you could have stayed in the Pac-2.
Pac-2.
And if you went undefeated, you would have been in the playoff team. The only good team out of that from the Pac-12 is Oregon. But they've also, Phil Knight has pumped in, I don't know how much money into that program recently, in the NIL to keep players or to get players. So it's nice to see that the Cougs are ranked. And where's everyone else from the Pac-12?
Oh, boy.
Where are the rest of you?
Yeah,
Where are you?
That 2-pack vote. Hampton Steve says, Matty, tradition is just peer pressure from dead people. Saturday is way better for CFL playoff games. You know, that could factor him into text of the day. It's pretty blunt, and I do like it, and he's all for the
That's
Saturday
actually
game.
a really good point, though. Tradition, what does it mean? I'll say, these people in the past that are dead, they started
They're going to call you on it or whatever? Nasty Chat's humming along as well. Smitty the Welder says, Matt only cheers for who's winning. Duck Dad, how about this? You'll love this, Matty. Want a spicy line? Plus 325 for the draw in the LAFC Whitecaps game. Winner take all. Both teams going to be playing tonight. Duck Dad also goes on to say, does Calgary and Forge's CPL reign? Minus 105 tomorrow to win. Your thoughts?
Screw Calgary. I'll always cheer against Calgary. I have the Calgary scarf hanging over
I
my
lit mine
door,
on
though.
fire.
You what?
I don't want it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
oh,
I got it. Ty Jordan gave
I
me
thought
one.
you were excited.
I wipe stains off the floor with it.
I have it hanging. It's a nice scarf, but I cheer
Don't need
always
it, though.
against Cavalry. And I hate when they get to the final because I feel like one of these years they're due for the win. Tommy Weldon and that team, they just need to find a way to lose again. And I don't like Forge. I don't want Forge to keep winning.
I hate them all. I hate the
both
league.
of those
We need
teams.
Edmonton representation.
Where's Pacific? Get
so
back up there,
salty here. I hate
Pacific.
it.
So, but in the end, no. I'm sticking with Forge. They have it in them.
Look, maybe we'll continue this. Somebody says, Bonnie Doon says, how about some footy talk, boys? Too much college football talk, winky face. Look, it is Friday. There's a lot to get to. Oilers do play tomorrow against the Canucks. Herm Edwards will be joining us for the NFL picture, but maybe a little footy talk of sorts coming up next. The Fan Zone is up next. We have a keyword right now. Mitt is going to get to a sports update, but let's give you that keyword for the EST Flyaway to LA. Never enough time in the show. Be nice if it was 4 hours long. Hey, is this scalding hot take? No, I don't know. EST Flyway to LA. We're sending you and a friend or somebody else December 26th to 30 to Los Angeles. You got the flights, you got the hotel, you get a rental car, and you get some sports involved as well. Clippers hosting the Warriors, Rams at home to the Cardinals, and Edmonton taking on one of LA or Anaheim. And it's all brought to you by the 780. Check them out today. Great local shop, homegrown, celebrating close to 100 local vendors. I told you about Wayne's earlier. If you want to find some gift ideas, random packs of cards there. The 780 will have things you didn't even know existed. And the good part is it's all local. So you can check them out today, 780.com. That's the word 7, the numbers 80.com. Or one of 5 locations in and around Edmonton, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. Matt's going to put a word on the screen. You're going to text it in. Beautiful word today. He has risen. It is McDavid. Text in McDavid, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Text in McDavid right now. Maddie's going to hit a sports update. He'll give somebody a call after that, and you'll be the next qualifier into the trip. It's Lieutenant Eric. It's Matthew Iwanyk. It is the Nielson Show here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Ravens failed two-point conversion in the final minute. Helped the Bengals failed two-point conversion in the final minute. Helped the Ravens escape Thursday night with a season sweep of the Cincinnati, winning 35-34 as Baltimore improved to 7-3, while the Bengals fell to 4-6. Divisional playoffs in the CFL go tomorrow with the Toronto Argonauts in Montreal to battle the Owls, and out west it's the Riders. They meet the Bombers in Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets, they continue to stay red hot as they shut out the Avs 1-0 elsewhere in the NHL. Flames fell to the Bruins 4-3 in OT. Islanders beat the Sens. Predators drop another one, losing 6-2 to the Panthers. And the Canucks beat the Kings 4-2. Up next for the Oilers, they're in Vancouver tomorrow night. Edmonton Oil Kings, they're in action tonight out in Medicine Hat, while it's a Battle of Alberta and U-Sport at Clare Drake as University of Alberta Golden Bears host the McEwen Griffins. NBA action yesterday. Timberwolves beat the Bulls and the Jazz fell to the Bucks, while the Spurs knocked off the Trailblazers. This sports update, it's brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. And dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who is looking to bring Park Mazda to joining the Pac-2 next season. Coming up next, Herm Edwards will join the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. I'm Matt Iwanyk. You're up to date.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
You are tuned into the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio app, and crystal clear for your visual preference on YouTube as well. If you are watching on YouTube this morning, we're looking to change 200 as well. Slam that thumbs up, give us a like, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and you can keep up to date everything EST on YouTube. We'll be connecting with the coach, Herm Edwards, here in a minute. We have a desk, it looks like. Is this the camera flipped? Is that kind of what's going on here maybe? Or we're looking at a desk, Herm Edwards' desk. Lots of pens. Some cameras flipped. Yeah, you give it an old flipperoonie there, Herm, and we'll there should be is there an arrow, like a weird curvy arrow on there that you can hit? We are walking.
If you click, I think. Oh, let me get.
We're going to get this.
I'll walk this through with you.
This. Yeah, we will get this. Herm Edwards joining us. The Fan Zone also to wrap up hour number 2 a little later on. And text in McDavid 780-218-9999, and we'll be giving one of you a call to qualify into the EST Flyaway to LA. We can hear you crystal clear. I mean, this is kind of fun. I know.
If you click, you should maybe see like the gear button. If you try that, I might say flip video horizontally. Maybe you could try that.
Can the people hear her?
Oh no, no, just you and I.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'll keep talking then. Herm Edwards.
Or it might be just the camera setting that when you click that gear button and under camera, you might just need to pick the other camera.
780-218-9999. We'll get Herm Edwards on. If you have any questions for the coach, please get them in as well. Did I just hear the Lieutenant Eric show? Facts at this point. Oshman 19 says, I don't think I said that, did I? I said the Nielsen show. I wouldn't dare dreams call it my show. Dustin Nielsen scheduled to be back on Tuesday, of course. No programming here on Remembrance Day Monday. And Grey Cup week next week as well. Dusty will be missing a few shows. He will be in Vancouver covering the big game. Now Herm is mashing buttons feverishly. We're gonna get this.
If you want, Herm, we could just bring you on with the audio here.
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Okay,
you sound
so
great.
Give me a second.
Yeah. So we're
I'll
just
bring
going to
him
get
on.
Herm on the audio. The audio is fantastic this morning. Crystal clear here on EST. Once again, we were talking earlier today, too, about the Edmonton Sports Talk pop-up shop. You don't got a lot of time. That ends on the 10th. Go to edmontonsportstalk.com. Click on the Shop EST tab. It'll take you straight there. Courtesy our friends from the Hive Product Marketing. Some great ideas for Christmas. But don't sleep, don't rest. Get on it today. And Nasty Club members as well. Another perk for being a member of the Nasty Club. Sign up today, but a 15% off deal. Discount code in the Nasty Club for Nasty Club members. Shouldn't say 15, but discount code in the Nasty Club. Herm's good with the audio? Hello,
good
Coach.
with the audio.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying to swing it. I'm good with the audio. Okay, let's go.
Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, whatever. And the camera was crystal clear too. It was just about the flip. So we will move on. Lots to get to. Starting with last night, Coach Herm Edwards, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. We expected fireworks in that game, albeit they took a little while to light up and fire away. That fourth quarter was something else, but. I mean, we saw a coach and a team electing not to go for two to taking it to overtime, and a team last night trying to go for two to save their season. Your thoughts on the Ravens holding on to beat the Bengals last night on the Thursday nighter?
Well, I thought if you like offensive football, it was something to behold the second half. As you mentioned, the first half, it was a defensive struggle all of a sudden. It was 14-7. No one anticipated that. When you think of both these teams and where they're ranked defensively, not very good. And all of a sudden, the offenses showed up yesterday, and it was kind of fun to watch Lamar battling with Burrows. If you'd have told me that Burrows was going to throw the ball 56 times, I mean, generally, guys, when you throw the ball over 50 times, it's in a losing effort. But I say that in this sense, they have no resemblance of a run game in Cincinnati right now. It's all about Joe Burrows. Can he throw the ball? And obviously, he did that last night. Only had the one turnover. 4 touchdowns, but Lamar matched him. He threw it 33 times. They did run it 25 times. He threw 4 touchdowns as well. And as you mentioned, the Cincinnati Bengals, they went for it on fourth down. They were 2 out of 4. So every time they looked like they were in a fourth down situation, they went for it. They knew this was going to be a high-scoring game. You mentioned going for 2. I got no problem with that. Only problem I would have had with that one is this. They elected to throw it to the tight end.
Yeah.
And for me, and he was having a nice night, but here again, and I know the matchup, they liked the matchup. He was bigger than the DB that was covering him. But I'm going to find a way. I'm going to throw the ball to Chase. I have to.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, I have to throw him the ball in that situation. I'm going to find a way. The way we run our offense, he has to be a part. If I'm going down, I'm going to get it to my best player.
Yeah, and I think Chase alluded to that post-game as well. I can't remember the exact quote, but you could obviously tell with the night he had, the frustration there would be understandable. As Dolphin Corn Love 69 says, I like the Bengals going for the 2 points. Like Herm would say, you play to win the game. And I like it, too, from a neutral standpoint as well. It's just kind of a bit more action. Let's take a deeper dive into Week 10 here. Steelers 6-2 visiting the Washington Commanders 7-2. Both leaders of their divisions, the AFC North and NFC East, respectively. Out of both of these teams, though, realistic Super Bowl contenders, you have any of them at the top of your list? And if so, who? Perhaps both, perhaps none.
Well, I think they're contenders, but I don't know if they're the top contenders. Although Washington is really established itself to challenge Philadelphia to win this division. I think it's a 2-team race in that division. I think over in the Pittsburgh division, Baltimore's still sitting there, and that's going to be the one. Can they get through Baltimore? That'll be interesting. I think they can get through Cincinnati. No problem with the Browns, but they're going to have to go through Baltimore for me. When you look at the AFC, I think the Buffalo Bills, I want to see them play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Not this week, but next week. That'll be a barometer for me. We know who Kansas City is. I mean, I think eventually they're going to lose the game. I think they could lose to Buffalo, to be quite honest. The Chargers are kind of a dark horse. They're not surprising to me, though, with Coach Harbaugh going there. Everybody said, well, he can't turn this thing around. They're 5-3. They're sitting in position to grab a wild card spot. Over in the NFC, we mentioned the Philadelphia Eagles in Washington. Everyone loves the Detroit Lions. I think Detroit, they don't get enough credit for the talent they have on the roster. They get credit for being the bullies, for being tough, but they have a really good roster of players on both sides of the ball. San Francisco, they're coming off the bye. They need to get going now.
Yeah.
Their best player is back. We'll see if they can make a run. Arizona is a hard out. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
They're a hard out. The NFC North is the best division in football, as far as when you count the wins and losses, right? I mean, they got 3 teams over there legitimately have playoffs aspirations.
Herm, actually sticking there. Okay, the Detroit Lions, they that's a tough division. They go beat the Vikings a couple weekends ago. They beat the Packers last weekend. Who in the NFC challenges the Lions the best?
Oh, I would say obviously San Francisco if they're healthy, and they can get going. But they got to win some games now. I think the Lions right now, if you listen to your eyes and just watch a football game and you didn't have helmets on, you didn't know who the team was, and you just watched 2 teams play, you would say the Lions are probably the favorite right now. I worry about Philadelphia in this sense. They got a lot of playoff experience. The Eagles play against the Eagles sometimes with the decisions that sometimes the coach makes. He makes some decisions. I scratch my head. I go, what are you doing, man? I mean, the Eagles play the Eagles. And if they stop doing that, they're a pretty good football team.
Herm, you mentioned the Chiefs as well, and I don't know how long this can keep going. Perhaps they run the table. I don't know. They're one of those teams where they're good teams find ways to win, and they certainly are finding them all over the place. But is it how big of a banana peel might the Broncos be, especially with their defense? I know it's Arrowhead; it's always more tougher to play there. But we've seen teams take the Chiefs to the limit there this season. Do you think the Broncos will be that team and that defense to finally hold them off this week?
I thought that until last week when Baltimore put 41 on them.
Yeah.
Right. Their defense was pretty good until last week. And I think that could be, that could be a game. And like I always say, football it's not who you play, it's how you play the day you play.
Yeah.
And there was a bad day for them. And there's a lot of teams that have had some bad days. But you're right, the Broncos have a good defense. Bo Nix, a young quarterback, he's learning every week. He's getting more experience. But I think what happens with the Chiefs, people don't realize really how good their defense is. We talk about Mahomes and he's not playing well yet and all that stuff. I get all that, but what's going to happen when he plays well? And their defense is kind of one of those teams that kind of keeps us in the game. They're 5th in the National Football League in total defense.
I want to go back to the 2-point conversion that we saw. Well, we saw yesterday and we didn't see on Monday. As a coach, how much do you prepare for that? Is that something that going into a game in those situations that's what you're going to call? Is that a moment, gut decision? Yeah. How do coaches prepare for those type of calls?
You always have some 2-point plays that you feel are the ones that you can score on. And when you get into that situation, to be quite honest, in that possession if you're going to go or not. You've already told them. And I've done that many a times. I went in the huddle on the sideline when we had to possess the ball, and it's kind of one of those deals. You're assuming a lot of things, and I just tell the players so it doesn't shock them. Hey guys, when we score, and we could have the ball on the -30, the first thing comes out of my mouth that says, when we score, we're going for 2. So I'm already telling them that, and they're 70 yards away from scoring a touchdown. I'm telling them, hey guys, when we score, we're going for 2, and everybody knows it. So that's how they got to play.
Herm, some fascinating games. We talked Steelers, Commanders. Lions will visit the Texans on the Sunday nighter, but you got to be licking your chops as the Eagles are visiting the Dallas Cowboys Sunday afternoon, eh?
Yeah, that earlier in the season, that was going to be a primetime game. Yeah. But with Dallas, they're a wounded team, right?
Yeah.
They're just wounded. They lost their quarterback. They've lost numerous players. But I think it'll still be a competitive game because it is a division game.
Yep.
And the Eagles will make it competitive because the Eagles play the Eagles, and I don't trust them. They always seem like they're getting ready to fly away, and then all of a sudden, rather than fly away, they just stop. They just they just go the other way. I'm like, where are you going? Just go fly away. Just get away from them. And they let teams just come back in the fourth quarter, and they got to find a way to pull it out. But I think the key now for Philadelphia is the offense has to run through Saquon Barkley, right? And that's what makes this team go. And that's what drives you batty a little bit when you watch them play. You know, last week they play a game when they have that tush-push against Jacksonville, and I get it, but it was stopped 3 or 4 times. And the 4th time, they try to be slick and throw a pass, and I'm going, well, wait a minute, let me figure this thing out. You're trying to get a yard. I said, there's this guy, 26, your running back. If you just get under center and turn around and give him the ball, he can make a yard. You don't need to tush push. Just give it to 26. He just jumped over 5 guys backwards. You think he can't make a yard?
I was going to say he almost flew away last week in Saquon Barkley with that jump, but they're looking good in that green, man, and you were probably looking good today as well if we would have figured out the camera. But you sounded great, Coach, and we always appreciate your time. Enjoy the Week 10 slate, and we'll talk next week.
We will. Thank you, man. Enjoy football.
Love it. The Coach, Herm Edwards, brought to you, as always, by Pro-Am Sports. Locally owned sports memorabilia apparel specialists. You can check out their selection of signed NFL memorabilia, including names like Mahomes and Montana. Once again, located in Edmonton, corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or shop online, proamsports.ca. Maddie, you pulling anything from the Coach there, aside from his... Maddie will be calling somebody right now. If you texted McDavid, be by your phone now. The phone is ringing, so we will be getting a qualifier, nabbing a qualifier. Your next chance will be coming up 9 to 11 on the Hangout. Did they not pick up? No? One reply. We did take some time. We had a guest, so he's giving you a mulligan here. Be by your phone. Answer the phone. Pick up the phone. He's got him. Love it. Love to see that. Your next chance to qualify, though, 9 to 11 in the Hangout with Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, and guests today. Jason Milne, Glue Guy, also will be in, gracing their presence in the Hangout. But the EST Flyaway to L.A., and we'll be getting on a qualifier here. The Fan Zone as well will be coming up next as we make our way through hour number 2, probably diving back into the CFL Divisional Finals. And your thoughts, who do you got winning? Who do you got meeting in the Grey Cup? That'll be taking place next weekend out in Vancouver. Dustin Nielson will be out there partying. Wish I could go as well, but we will await the next time that EST gets to take part in a Grey Cup. Just can't wait. I love Grey Cup parties, but hopefully the divisional finals will serve us well as well. We got the qualifier coming up here. Get some questions in as well if you have any for 3 questions too many. And if you want to play kind of easy trivia, never too early to text in. I want to play Mr. Mike's gift card on the line. Maddie, who do we got today for the qualifier?
Ryan's on the line.
Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Great. Have you been to L.A. before?
I have.
Okay, business or pleasure? Were you watching sports down there? Was it just a business trip? What were you doing down there?
We took the family down, saw Disneyland, and checked out the Oilers versus Ducks.
Okay, so you have been down for a little hockey as well. That's good to hear. Congratulations on qualifying, man. What would you be looking forward to the most on this particular trip? As mentioned, we do have the basketball, Warriors and Clippers from that new Intuit Dome, Cardinals and Rams from that beautiful SoFi Stadium, and Edmonton, again, taking on one of LA or Anaheim in hockey action.
Well, I love the Oilers, but I haven't seen any round ball, and I've never seen an NFL game, so definitely NFL.
Yeah, you got to go with that new stuff there. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be a great trip. You get a rental car, accommodations, and taking place during a pretty nice time of the year. Ryan, you are in the mix, man. You can still continue to qualify, so good luck in the qualification process, and maybe we'll be calling your name.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Love it. There's Ryan, your latest qualifier today, Friday morning here on the Nielson Show. And once again, you can qualify as many times as you like. The trip is December 26th through 30th, so it's a nice little time of the year. Car rental, accommodations, 2 round-trip flights to Los Angeles from Edmonton. The grand prize draw will be happening November 29. So, yes, I know it still feels like there's some time, but that creeps up on you. These contests go very, very fast. November 8 today, November 29.
3 weeks today, we're giving it away.
3 weeks. It feels like it started yesterday. Mm-hmm. It's that whole NFL season again. Oh, we're already in week this and week that. 9 to 11 today on the Hangout. Your next chance to qualify the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. Let's get into the fan zone for fans first here real quickly. By fans, for fans, no fees. Check them out today, www.fansfirst.ca. Oilers tickets all season long. Once again, by fans, for fans, that's you, no fees. Get your Oilers tickets for the season at www.fansfirst.ca. Fan zone, I wanted to get into it. And look, we talk hockey, Oilers season continuing. Tomorrow they're in Vancouver taking on a relatively hot Canucks squad as the Oilers look to snap a 2-game losing streak here. But Maddie, I wanted to get into some CFL talk with you. I know we're talking NFL with the coach. We're talking NHL with Chris Johnston this hour, but giving the CFL its due in its regard for Divisional Finals weekend. I know we've kind of all had our picks. People ask you, who do you think is going to win? You guys have chopped it up in the hangout. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of these two games here on the Fan Zone. And you can text it and play along as well. Hashtag your text with hashtag Fan Zone. Dave in Section T says, if Saskatchewan beats Winnipeg, will EST send Lieutenant Eric to a Vancouver as a special correspondent? I don't see that in the cards, but personally for me, it is an important weekend. I go into this weekend, and I'll start off here, and Maddie, you can chime in too afterwards. I do feel, and you mentioned the playoffs, you want to be hot. You want to be going in on a roll. And yes, there's a lot built up by saying, hey, you win your division. It's that one game to get it in the Grey Cup. It's perfect. You have a week off to heal up, yada, yada, yada. But there is this theory that I subscribe to too. And, if you finish in that second spot, you get the home gate. You get the home playoff game. You get the finances that come with it. If indeed you do win that game, you then roll on. Yes, on the road, but you've won. You're hot. You're going in on a bit of a winning streak. And for Winnipeg, and you mentioned Montreal specifically and especially, this is a team that I think probably needed to play last week to kind of get some things going out. They lost to Winnipeg at home, albeit in a nothing game for them, but that was coming off a loss to BC as well across country. And for the second half of the season, they've kind of had it in neutral a bit. For the Bombers, again, you can chalk it up to whatever you want. The wind picking up in Montreal. They are a great team, and credit where it's due, and good teams know how to find ways to win, even when it is with the weather. It's going to be a packed Princess Auto Stadium. Their fans show up. They're loud. They're proud. Should be a great game. But, Maddie, where are you kind of leaning on these? We know where you're going with the East. You had it on the Cool Big Canada hotline of the day with your money line. But who do you see meeting in the 111th Grey Cup in Vancouver?
Yeah, I'm just trying to go through how many times the road team comes out and wins.
It's not a good record.
They've done it 3 times since at least 18.
Yeah.
In 2017, both road teams won the divisional finals.
Okay.
2017. No, that's the home teams. Never mind. I'm reading that one wrong.
It's usually a science to get in.
No,
but
to your theory, I agree with it this season more so because look, I picked
because of the parity.
Well, I thought the West was all strong. I feel like going into the playoffs, I could make a case for why BC could have got hot and won the Grey Cup this year, got to the Grey Cup game. We could make the case for Winnipeg because they have been so strong. And we could make the case for Saskatchewan. I thought it was just all so close. And I didn't know how to differentiate between the teams. That my prediction was whoever won the West semi, I thought was going to go to the Grey Cup.
Okay.
And I didn't know who was going to be in the West semi at the time. And it ended up being BC Sask and Sask winning it. To the bye weeks, like the one thing, okay, so Winnipeg gets a bye last week. But
the Lions had a bye before entering the semifinals as well.
Right, but I look at a couple weeks, week 20. So last week of the season, it was Saskatchewan, it was Winnipeg, both played. But the week prior, Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, all 3 teams had a bye.
Yes.
So it's not like Saskatchewan's coming in having had to run off 8 straight games.
Yeah.
And they needed that bye. Like, we're not talking about a situation where one of the teams has played so much football that bye gives them that refresh. Or for the Bombers, both these teams had a bye not that long ago. So now it comes to, was the extra week off, is it beneficial to get hot and be playing at the right time? Or is the week off beneficial, or like, is last week playing beneficial to play? Mm-hmm. Or is it to get that extra week off just to get a little bit more rest? But is that like,
do you want the rest? The rest always like,
if both those teams didn't have week 20 off, then I would say you'd want the rest.
Sure.
But they just had this bye week so recently that I don't think the riders are coming in going tired. I don't think the riders are coming in hurting. And I think that's an equalizer. The other thing too, and I'll have to double check the weather now because we had
a good forecast earlier
this week, but that it
can change on a dime.
At 13 degrees on Saturday and sunny. There is going to be wind though. So it's going to get down to 4 degrees overnight. So it will drop. It has gusts in the afternoon from 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50. So the wind is going to be a factor, but it's going to be a beautiful day. It's not going to be cold. It's not going to be snowy. I think that's to me that's a bit of an equalizer in this one.
Well, kickoff is 4:30 Mountain, which is 5:30 local in Winnipeg.
I'll see if I can find an hourly forecast in Winnipeg.
And I know last week in Regina too, it was a beautiful afternoon for football. When the sun goes down, though, things change, and
So
that
we need
temperature
24
drops, and
hours?
the wind will pick up.
21 hours, is that going to do enough for me?
2 good running games, 2 great defenses. I think another storyline in this one, too, is Zach Collaros and Trevor Harris, the 2 Argo quarterbacks from days of yore, right, Maddie? I mean, those are 2 guys that came up in the same system, same team, bright spots for the future.
10 degrees at kickoff. By the time it's over, it's about 8 degrees.
When that sun goes
the
down,
gusts will be gone by kickoff, and you're talking about 15, 16 kilometer an hour wind, so not too much. So both teams will be able to play at their best. There won't be any this weather is going to be a
stormy.
factor.
Yeah,
no.
it'll be a nice crisp day for football.
But even the wind isn't going to be that much of a factor. You're going to sit there and be like, "Wow, this is causing problems." I don't think, based off looking at that forecast. So I don't know. Zach Collaros has not inspired confidence in me this season.
Matt Hyman says, and he is in Winnipeg, I do believe. It looks like it might rain tomorrow evening. So I guess
According to Environment Canada, most recent is there's
combating
nothing of rain.
forecasts. Okay, well,
I'm not using Weather Network because Murray would get mad at me.
is that the thing? Maybe Hyman's on the Weather Network here. Combating forecasts. Love it.
I also used the site. Oh, I should double check that site that Clausen gave me. He mentioned it on the Hangout once when it tells you it's better. Yeah, there's very very little precipitation, if any. This one's saying there's none.
Who do you believe?
I wasn't looking at his forecast. I was looking at a weather model.
A model?
I was looking at a model.
Holy heck.
I'm going to become the EST weather guy. I'm going to come on each show with the weather. A map. I'm going to go on the
Taking
TV
Clausen's
and
job
put a
here.
map there.
He was the EST weather guy. I mean, just...
Well, no, like locally.
Well, yeah. He's our...
Like in-house. I'll
He's
be
our
the in-house weather
correspondent
guy.
outside.
And then,
Yeah.
When we need to get the
We'll go to the
truth,
hit. Yeah.
We could go to him.
Down at K-Days, Josh Clausen joining us, you know. Chris G just texts in Fan Zone, which I love. Fan Zone.
Fan Zone.
Rob from the Grove says, I feel like tomorrow is a huge game for the Edmonton Oilers. They lost to Vancouver last year big time, so they need a good showing. I asked Will yesterday, and he sheepishly declined. But what was your expectation for tomorrow? You answered. You played along with me. Again, I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But again, based off the trajectory of these two teams right now, Vancouver winning 3 on the road, they look like they're heating up. They're at home. It's Hockey Night in Canada. It's late. How do you kind of see this going from what we've seen in the past? And right now with this Oilers team, do you expect anything to change? You kind of said yesterday, right? Big score, but one of which either way.
It's going to be the extremes.
Extremes.
One team is going to play very poorly and one team's going to play great. I don't know which one of those teams that is, though.
And that's fair. Yeah,
I think
that's what I was looking for.
I think that we're going to have a game where we're going to be like going through the second period. I'm like, oh my God, the Oilers are just taking it to them tonight, or going like just full panic mode. I can't wait for the post-game show because Natso's going to go off.
Either way, he'll always go off. Yeah.
Right, but like go off angry about this team and stuff. Like, so that's just the way I see Vancouver Edmonton when they meet on a Saturday night for Hockey Night in Canada.
We are at 8:01, and again, this show is just going at warp speed, and it's killing me here. We will take a break. Kind of easy trivia if you want to play. Text in 780-218-9999. A few things other to get to here while the Fan Zone is still up. Jasmine, she's in the nasty chat. LT, we need the EST Foodie review from last night. Hashtag EST Foodie. This was an idea hatched in the Hangout yesterday. I did tweet out a picture of the steak sandwich at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Delicious. Very good. Nice side Caesar salad. They got the garlic toast game there is out of sight. I know that people can argue with the steak sandwich. Sometimes the toast is a throwaway, and it can be if the locale doesn't put some thought into it. But a great garlic toast. The steak comes out nice medium rare, a little bit of fat on it, which is just perfect, and the Caesar salad, delicious. They give you a little lemon wedge. I personally don't choose to use it, but they got the cheese, the croutons, the whole bit, and good choice of the lettuce leaf. There's not a lot of rustiness to the lettuce, so I don't know what grade scale we're using for the EST Foodie review. We'll have to maybe come to an agreement on that. But 2 thumbs up. Steak sandwich. Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Perfect. And the smoked brisket cheesesteak on special.
Did we do conches? 2 conches out of 2 or
Can't
something?
be out of the 6 o'clock hour. We can't.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I can't.
That is a good point. So what else do we have?
This is the hangout. You guys discussing the hangout. Maybe today with Jay Mill. He can have his say as well. He's asking if we want coffees. He's doing his
I
spreading.
saw that text. I got a message.
Nothing for me, Jason. Also, this text, hot take, Kev. If the Riders win, I'm taking my 75-year-old grandmother to the Grey Cup. We had season seats from 93 to 22 at Taylor Field. She broke her leg in 2013 and missed the Grey Cup. I can't miss this opportunity. If it happens, go Riders. Well, hot take, Kev. Hopefully that turns out for you and your 75-year-old mother. The Fan Zone. This is the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. Buy your Oilers tickets today. Buy fans for fans. No fees. Once again, if you want to play trivia, 780-218-9999. Your chance at Mr. Mike's GC. 3 questions too many. We got a few sliding in. We'll get to those as well. That hurts for James H. Brown. Injury lawyers, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up at around 8:30, all ahead of the wrap for William Huff. It's Lieutenant Eric. It's Matt Iwanyk. This is the Nielson Show. No Dustin on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Do we need to say no Dusty anymore?
I just, for legality's sake.
I think everyone knows that by now. I think that it's going to be more important when Dusty's back. It's supposed to be Tuesday for everyone that's wondering. Supposed to be on Tuesday. A Bengals failed 2-point conversion in the final minute helped the Ravens escape Thursday night with a season sweep of Cincinnati. They won 35-34. Baltimore improved to 7-3, while the Bengals fell to 4-6. CFL Divisional Finals go tomorrow with the Toronto Argonauts. They're in Montreal to battle the Als, and out west, the Riders meet the Bombers in Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets continue to stay red hot as they shut out the Avs 1-0. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Flames fell to the Bruins 4-3 in overtime. Islanders beat the Sens. Predators drop another one, losing 6-2 to the Panthers. And the Canucks, they beat the Kings 4-2. Next up for the Oilers, they're in Vancouver tomorrow night. Edmonton Oil Kings, they're in action tonight out in Medicine Hat. It's a battle of Edmonton at Claire Drake in U Sports action as the University of Alberta Golden Bears, they host the McEwen Griffins. And NBA action yesterday, Timberwolves beat the Bulls. The Jazz fell to the Bucks. And the Spurs knocked off the Trailblazers. The CST Sports Update. It's brought to you by Claiborne Services, where they're hiring all positions, including journeymen, bricklayers, and apprentices of all levels with an outstanding mentorship program. Work with peace of mind, knowing that Claiborne Services is an industry leader in safety. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. Visit claiborneservices.com or give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728. Up next is the third hour of the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. I'm Matt Iwanyk. You're up to date.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. To Tuffy and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it if it's a fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We want to hear some hot takes and we want to hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I want our kids away? Beat us to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macarmella, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him giving present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Nielson Show. No Dustin Nielson. I'm just getting you there. I'm not calling it the LTE show either. I refuse. It is the Nielson Show. It's been
I don't think I did. I've called it the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Yeah, that's what it says on the thing there. Yeah, and that's fine.
And it's
it's a cavalcade of stars here over the past couple of weeks, and we appreciate the time of Will Fraser, yourself, Maddie, Zach Tim's been in the chair, YouTube Trev, who's finishing vacation, moving into his new digs. So we look forward to that. But as Penner's Pancake says in the Nasty Chat, allegedly Tuesday. I think we also say Dusty's not back Tuesday. He's allegedly back Tuesday, or he's projected to be back. You were doing the forecast and the models.
Yeah,
the model says.
Yeah, there was a moment last week where he says, I'll back tomorrow, and then we got a text later saying I'm not.
And then your text was, he will not be on the air until further notice, which I thought,
what he said to me.
Yeah, but that's pretty,
because that's Sunday morning.
Those words hit hard, you know what I'm saying?
But Sunday morning, he texts me
further notice,
I'm off the air, so I used that. And I guess I didn't even realize it. I texted Will, and he said it was a very Matty text, and ask him to come on, because Dusty just texted Will, just like, hey, thanks for filling in. Matt will be in touch. And Will didn't know what that meant. Will thought maybe he'd have to host by himself. Where did I go? Think Dustin mentioned I'd be reaching out. There's no timeline for now for him being back on the air.
No timeline.
No timeline. So, but we're told Tuesday, because he told me Monday.
The whole further notice, that's doctor speak. That's clearly
I hadn't gone to the doctor at that time.
Do we know if he even went?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
allegedly. iHeart TuneIn radio apps is where you can hear us, and you can also watch us. Myself and Matthew Iwanyk on YouTube this morning. Our pursuit of changing 200 is very, very close. I think we can do that here before the middle of the hour, the meat of the hour. And if you haven't already, subscribe as well to the channel. It would help us, and it would help you a lot as well. Timber Woodsman on Twitter tagging me in a tweet from Christina Costabile. No West Division second-place team has won the Grey Cup in the last 10 postseason campaigns. The last team to do so was the Riders back in 2013. Can they do it all again this year? We will wait and see once again.
You're saying they're due.
Well, I don't know.
Not you.
Yeah. It's Winnipeg's to lose, really. Saskatchewan's got a first-year head coach. They won their home game. They shouldn't even be here. That's what I've been hearing all year from the punditry and everybody else. So Winnipeg has to add to their dynasty. Can they do it? Can they hold on? Can they continue that? Tomorrow we shall see. A few housekeeping. Once again, 780-218-99 is the number to text. Paris Jewelers inbox. Still coming hard after that A&W text today. $20 to A&W on the line. It's a big winning hour, actually. $50 to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. That'll be coming up later in the hour. And right now, we're going to do some kind of easy trivia. If you have any questions as well, specifically for Matt, he's in the chair today, or myself, I guess. You can also text those in or via the nasty chat. What do you want to know? What do you want to hear? Just curiosity's sake. Or into more serious, into the sporting realm, Oilers and whatnot. We can also answer those. But kind of easy trivia right now. We'll be playing for Mr. Mike's. Maddie's got the ticker and the Club 8 loop if the contestant does win.
I also have the DeRozan.
I know. I said we don't even want to bring her into the
I don't. For this
here.
one, I don't. I just wanted to make sure that you know I have.
No, absolutely, and that's okay. I mean, we'll. If they didn't, I do like the silence where we sit here for 30 seconds in silence and shame the loser.
It's not going to happen today. I'll tell you, knowing this person, it's not going to happen.
Really? Well, I'm asking the questions, so I love how you're so confident here.
It doesn't matter. I trust this person.
Okay, well, let's bring them in without any further ado. Who we got on the line?
Bryce the Sparky.
Bryce the Sparky.
Combine crew, baby.
Hey.
How you? The combine crew. Hey, what's your record on kind of easy trivia, Bryce?
This is my first time ever playing.
Maddie's going behind a raw rook here. I love it. Well, look, you know the rules, though. You need just 3 out of 5.
Maddie's my commissioner.
I beg your pardon?
Maddie's my commissioner.
Look, Bryce, I am for full reinstatement. I've gone on record to say so much. Perfect. Let's get going. You need 3 out of 5. Maddie will start the ticker. You're commissioner after I read the first question. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Bryce, who do the Oilers play tomorrow night?
Vancouver.
Who won the Thursday nighter in the NFL last night?
Baltimore.
Name a sports team out of Detroit.
The stupid Red Wings.
What's Edmonton's WHL team called?
The Oil Kings.
Which 2 teams will advance to the Grey Cup?
Sask and Winnipeg.
5 out of 5. What? 4 out of 5. You idiot.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother. I've been looking forward to this moment my whole life. Excuse me, but I was just taking a shower. Tell me a little bit about Vincent. Was he a great athlete? Was he interested in chess and poetry? My name is Julius. My name is Julius. My name is Julius.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
4 out of 5 for Bryce. He was so close to getting 4.5 out of 5, really. You know the answer I was looking for, but then kind of just totally doesn't recognize the CFL East Division, hey? Not in that household.
It'd be something else if both those teams get to the Grey Cup this year.
He is all for the one division CFL. You can tell where he's at in that debate, right? Like he wants to do away with the East and the West. He wants all 9 teams. Well, and that look,
but you can still do that. You could have divisions and still have that happen.
I know.
But yeah. Of changing how things are done, but still have divisions.
I like the divisions for scheduling purposes. Correct.
You can do all of that.
Yeah.
Quick. Oh, I was keep divisions. Division winners get the bye, but then rank everyone else 3 through 9 and rank them. And I don't care where they have to play. Make them all wild card teams. Have your 2 divisions and the rest be wild cards. That's what I want.
780-218-9999. That was hilarious. People are just coming at Dusty hard. Dusty's milking it at this point. Look, he was actually, it's killing him that he can't be here. Honest to God. World Series, McDavid injury, you've got the sports equinox going on before our eyes, all of this stuff. Brady Stonehouse, for crying out loud, is back and off the IR before him. That's the world we're living in right now, but he will be back allegedly on Tuesday. You only got to live through this show with me hosting by myself once, but we appreciate Will's time, Zach, Maddie, the whole bit going on here on the Nielson Show, Edmonton Sports Talk. 3 questions too many right now. It's brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, including dealer principal Mitch Lickly, who's a little disappointed he didn't get the call to come and co-host on the Nielson Show, as everybody else has seemed to be doing. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. I would appreciate Mitch if he came on for an hour. I'd take a little Mitch. I'd take a lot of Mitch. Park Mazda, check them out today, parkmazda.ca. Is there room behind Dusty's desk for the IV bag? Fergie's prostate inquires. He would probably, he's done the show banged up before. It's just probably, again, on doctor's orders and with this flu going around. Dusty has the Nielsen Show flu, as Blair in Calgary says, and there's nothing you can do about it. Great text there. I really like that. Coming hard after that A&W. First, before we get into 3 questions, social medias. Maddie, again, giving the other person a chance to promote their socials. Where can people follow you on X and otherwise?
X only. Well, Twitter only. Matthew Iwanyk.
That's
I'm on
it?
Insta, but I don't do anything.
Yeah, but you can still get the
I don't do
follow.
anything on Facebook. I don't do anything on... Well, you can find me on Reddit, possibly.
Following people on Facebook is weird.
On Reddit, I've commented on soccer things in the Canadian soccer subreddit. That's
really?
me.
Have you been banned? I hear that you like to ban people on there quite a bit.
Not on the Canadian soccer
Get out of line. That's pretty safe there, though, Canadian soccer, right?
I like Reddit.
I did tweet out just now. You can follow me at Lieutenant_Eric. Another great night in carnival atmosphere at the Central Casino Sports Bar Lounge. We did take a bit of a group photo last night, and I did my romper room sign-off request to everybody there earlier today. But a nice picture of Jackpot Jan with her Philadelphia Eagles winning jersey. Apparently fits like a dream. She was
Philly
showing
Eagles? Nice. Who's on it? Jalen Hurts?
I think it was Barkley. It was a Saquon. Yeah. Look, sometimes they have features.
I just was asking.
I know. It was a Ravens Bengals game, and
I just was wondering who's
an all
on the
AFC East, AFC affair, and we had the Eagles NFC.
I was just
jersey.
wondering who's on the jersey. That's all I was asking.
Yeah, wasn't Herm Edwards. But congratulations, Jackpot Jan, loving her New Jersey, and you can join me once again every Monday and Thursday during the NFL regular season at Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Question number 1, it comes in here, and I just got to track it down here. And Maddie, you can play along too if you like. Big Slam Nasty says, and he was the winner of Text of the Day yesterday. Here's a cue for 3 questions to many. Do you like IKEA? Because I can't stand that place.
What do we mean by IKEA?
Well, what
walking
do you mean?
through it? Is it purchasing it?
That's what I mean by what
mean?
he can't stand. I can get a little busy sometimes. It's a little confusing. You can get lost in there. But I find the furniture, pretty easy to put together and pretty steadfast in order to use in your life. I like it. My wife used to work there. I don't have any prior commitments to liking it, but yeah, I enjoy the place. Not going every day.
I think the furniture lasts for what it is. So you
Pretty
don't
good.
be going expecting anything greater. Like it is what it is, and there's a chance that maybe putting it together isn't going to be easy at times, and things might not fit perfectly, and you might have to return it and do it again.
Sure.
That's the thing. I love walking IKEA. I love being in the store. I love going through what they have and going through the whole map, and even though you could do the shortcuts, I love seeing what they have. You can get some good, like you get a nice French press there for cheap.
Sure.
Get a lot of those type of little things.
Stuff.
And then they got the food all there. You got the main restaurant, but then you got, as you leave, you can get the hot dog and the pop or whatever for really cheap. You can go get some Danish treats or Swedish treats.
The Dame candies, the Dame chocolates.
All of it. I absolutely love going to IKEA. And honestly, getting into South Edmonton Commons is difficult at times, depending on which way you're coming in. But the parking at IKEA is pretty easy. If you go to the south side of it, closer to the Rona Plus, there's a lot of parking usually there.
Amishman19 says, not a fan of Horde of Humanity, but IKEA isn't bad compared to Costco. I'm not a Costco guy. We're not a Costco family.
I love Costco.
Costco's
great.
I don't roll with that. But are you one of those people, IKEA, they had people go in there and I don't encourage this behavior, but they would try to hide. And my wife, when she worked there, she'd have to go and open every drawer and sometimes find people hiding for the
I think that like IKEA should maybe do this one day, shut down their store for a day and do a big game of hide and seek.
I'd love that. That'd be great.
You submit, like, you pay a big entry fee, and if you're the last one, you get all the money or something like that. I think people would have a great time with that.
But you said it was kind of creepy closing it down when you have to go and do your rounds and open a chest of drawers and see a little man hiding in there with a GoPro or something. What are your thoughts on IKEA? 702-899. There are lots of ways you can slice this one up. I got a lot of furniture. I love building it. It's kind of fun. It's a nice challenge. It's like Lego. Like, it's not too hard for me. I'm not a handyman, so it's kind of right in my wheelhouse.
Costco's just, I don't know, the dislike from Amish men on Costco or something.
I'm not a big. I find it very elitist. Don't you need a certain credit card?
You have to it's a MasterCard.
Yeah, get out of here.
You need to have your Costco card, obviously, to get in.
Get out of here.
But the deals that you can get, and now obviously you're doing is buying in bulk, but like their fruit and veggies, the produce, it's good quality.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Get a good price on it.
Rob from the Grove says, I like the walking IKEA. I hate the people cutting you off. Yeah, it's a bit of everything. It's like the mall too. Like, it's just people are people.
People suck everywhere, though.
Same as driving, right? Like,
I was going to say the same thing.
Senior Boots says, I install IKEA kitchens. They're fantastic and highly underrated. I do believe I have one. It's all click and play. It's like Lego.
I believe this is still the case. To Jen and Chris G both saying they love, Chris G saying he loves the liquor store. You don't need the Costco card to go to the liquor store.
Yeah. They don't want me. I don't want them.
No, for the liquor store, you could go. Just you don't need.
They don't want me. I don't even get gas there.
You can't because you need the Costco card for the gas.
They don't want me. I don't want them.
But the liquor you can go get.
780-218-9999. Your thoughts on Costco, IKEA, or any of the big box dealers. Question number 2, and I don't know if you may have. I think I heard you bringing this up yesterday in the EST Hangout, 9 to 11 today. Matthew Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Jason Milne, and
Ryan Hodgkinson from Daily Hive. He's a guy that's around the Oilers a lot for Daily Hive and covering the team, and he was on with Hernan earlier this week, but we're having him in studio for his Hangout debut.
Your next chance as well to qualify for the EST Flyaway to LA coming up 9 to 11 today on the Hangout. Correct. But PWHL jerseys. People are ranking them. People are setting them up. People are lining them up. Who, in your opinion, Maddie, which one are you rushing out to buy? Which one? We saw the logos. We said, oh, we hate the logos. We hate this and that. It's always tough to unveil things nowadays because people just carve things up. We critique them to no end. But in terms of the jerseys, you see the logo now on the look. You got the colors. We've seen the players model them. Which jersey, again, would you like to find under your tree this Christmas season?
For YouTube, I've thrown it up there.
Thank you. That's good work.
If I had to pick one, it'd be the Victoire, the Montreal. Partly because I just love that type of red, that color. Is that burgundy?
It's like a burnt something, hey? Like, yeah, burgundy, I think is
I love that color. I love the look of the logo with Victoire.
Yeah.
The C1 looks like the Calgary Flames.
Mm-hmm.
The TS actually is a knockoff of, there was a Taylor Swift shirt that came out.
But I love the colors.
But it looks like it's a Taylor Swift look.
I know the logo is.
And it looks like you're just a Taylor Swift fan.
In the spirit of the jersey, though, I love the jersey.
And I have no issues with Taylor Swift, but I don't need to walk around saying I'm a Taylor Swift fan.
I get it.
I don't like the green and whatever the sirens it or whatever that is.
The orange greenish.
I think it drives. I don't mind that green color. Mm-hmm. I don't think it works on that jersey. Love the evergreen. I forgot what those teams are. The purple one is the Frost or something. It's all right. I'd like a darker purple maybe. Victoire, and then I think it's that Boston or something. On the YouTube, the ones on the bookends. That's my 2 favorite.
Yeah, I like the Boston one because it does have that homage to the Whalers, that inverted W into a B. I don't know if they meant to do that.
It's an anchor.
Yeah, that's an anchor.
You turn your head, it's an anchor.
But I see it as the whale tail, but it's not. But it's an anchor. But I just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's something there, the whole Connecticut Boston, that type of thing. And I know Boston Bruins, but Hartford and the rivalry there or whatever. But I don't know, that's kind of how I see it. But no, it's just the color scheme, that blue and yellow really pops to me. That bright blue and yellow. I know the logo, but in terms of the jerseying, I would have that. I don't mind that orange. And it looks like that Captain Highliner Islanders jersey from way back when, the orange and turquoise or whatever. What do you think? 780-218-999. We've gone over the logos. Give us the jerseys. Rip City Step says Frost is the best. It's Prince Purple. Pull your head out of your ass. Winky face. Well, hey, I mean, look, we're all entitled to our own opinion, but if you think that one's the best, Prince Purple, then go for it. Hampton Steve says solidarity, LTE, to hell with the elitist Costco empire. It didn't used to be like that, I don't think.
I don't think it is an elitist thing.
It is now.
I don't think so.
I think it is. From everybody I'm seeing on the TikToks and the Instagrams.
I don't think that. I don't feel that at all.
Have you seen that family with the chocolate chunk cookie?
No,
and
I
the
have
chicken
not.
bake?
No.
Yeah, because you're not on it. Yeah. See, my brain's been poisoned with all this crap.
No, I from all accounts, Costco actually treats their employees very well. It's an excellent company to work for.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
By all accounts.
I know,
So there's that part. There's, for customers, you could return basically anything that you want.
I think Rob from the Grove, his wife works, I do believe. They apparently great place to work. I'm not saying that. As a peasant out there, trying to make my way through society.
I don't get much, so this self-checkout actually goes rather quickly. The only thing I would ask for is a little bit more like room between the checkouts.
So it's not perfect.
No, between the checkout and the concession, because people all want to get their food, and then they one. There's nowhere to put your cart if you're not going to sit down and eat, so it kind of loads up everything, and then it's hard to get through. That'd be the only change I would make to them. Yeah. I do miss the day when, well, for many things, but they used to have like 35-cent pops in the machines, really cheap pops. But
well, maybe you need to. Maybe you can still get those with another credit card.
You could also pay cash as debit, as Andrew said. It's just with credit card, you could only play with the one credit card.
Oh, so I can enter into the store. They're not checking, hey, let me see your credit cards.
No, you have to have a Costco membership to enter the store still.
This is way too confusing.
Because, well, you have to be a member to buy a Costco. And now they actually have scanners, so they're scanning your card as you come in, so you can't take someone else's card. But when you pay, you don't have to use a credit card. You can use credit or debit. But for credit cards, they are only with MasterCard. So
we're giving out Estes to not even card-carrying members. You realize that here, right? Like this is all loose.
I'm not going to be an elitist when it comes to our nasties and go like you're on another level.
Duck Dad says, of course you feel that way, Matt. Typical elitists don't think they're part of the elitist empire. Thoughts?
If I'm part of something that's elite, I'll take it. You're all just jealous then that you're not part of it. No, it's wonderful. I don't know. I love walking around Costco.
I hear you.
I love the samples. They're amazing.
Yeah. The big tubs of random liquids and
that's more
dips.
The business center.
What? No, but you can get can't you get pails of ranch and everything?
That's like the business center. The business center, there's the one by our old place, which was more for businesses. So you could get even bigger. So you wanted like a bathtub worth of pickles. They'd sell you a bathtub worth of pickles.
So this is one of those industrial,
it's more
when you need stuff for a carnival, you're putting on a fair.
If we're wanting to do something on a higher level, there's the business center. It has a few less things that the regular Costco has, but they have bigger or more, more quantity of what you can buy.
LT, 100% with you on Costco. I get the savings, but I can't wrap my head around the fact you have to pay for membership to shop. And in the massive humanity, no thanks. It comes in from Ken. Pinto Crick on the Nasty Chat says EST needs a corporate membership.
It's called a Nasty Club.
No, but you want something even higher.
Well, you're a premium annual member.
Higher and higher and higher.
Well, no,
higher.
I
think we keep going. Why not? Why stop here?
Who's seen Corner Gas here? There's the episode where they do the membership cards and everyone comes in and it's like, you're platinum now. And then Wanda keeps increasing all these levels because everyone's wanting, I'm not going into that with this.
Jay Milne chiming in. He's on his way here. The dreaded Costco bottleneck at the post-checkout food stop.
Yes, it is. That's the worst thing to have. And it's like, if you want to go get food too, then you're standing there you're awkward. Where do I stand? And with this cart, I want to go get my condiments on my hot dog, but where do I leave my cart? Or if you're just trying to leave, there's just a bunch of carts everywhere. Wonderful place to be, though. Wonderful place.
Dumb Pete is listening to yesterday's episode, and he's getting into the nose waxing right now. He says amazing radio. He did a couple of waxings for charity in the past, waxathons, I guess. And Raider Jesse, look at this, offering to sneak me into Costco one day if I want.
I'll
Can
take
I do
you to
that?
Costco.
So you can bring a guest.
You could bring people
How
with
many?
you. I can.
Do you have
I don't know.
is
You
there
can
a-
bring a family if you want.
You can bring a family? Well, what's the point of buying a thing?
Well, but the one person could go buy. Only one person could go buy. You can't go buy still though, because when you get I would have to buy for you.
But I could come up there and say, "Hey, here's my stuff. He's buying it for me," and they'll just let that happen. That seems like a pretty.
No, they wouldn't let that part. They're not supposed to now let that happen.
So what do they do?
It'd be in my cart.
Do I get locked
No,
up?
you
if
just put it in my cart, and I just pay for it, and then you pay me later.
To Costco jail.
I'll take you to Costco.
Yeah, but if I get caught, what happens?
No,
then?
that's fine.
It goes on my record.
How about this? One of these days, in the next few weeks after the hangout, we'll go to the Costco. We'll just go wander.
Yeah, but will I get in trouble?
No.
Will you get in trouble?
No.
Will you have your membership revoked?
We won't. No, because you're with me. And we'll go have some samples.
But I'm a renegade.
We'll just walk around and have samples.
Yeah, but if I get caught,
who cares about you?
I'll get
Nothing
in
will
trouble.
happen
You'll
for
get in
you.
trouble.
No, we won't.
I'll get thrown in prison.
No, we won't. You can have a bunch of samples. You tell me which day, and I'll take you to Costco. It's just down the road. I'll even maybe get you gas.
Question number 3, and this flies in off this question too, and I love it. What's your favorite thing about Costco? We started with IKEA. We're wrapping up with Costco. This is a great 3 questions to me for Park Mazda. And I can't answer this because I don't go. Maddie, what's your favorite?
Favorite thing about samples, because that's just from once I was a kid. Fruit and produce, good priced. Gas, usually really well priced. And if you go at the right time, you don't have to wait in line. It's perfect. Great, actually, tire center. Really well done. And they do this nitrogen tire gas or air instead of air. They use nitrogen.
Nitrous.
And there's a spot to fill it up, and it does it for you. You plug it in. It naturally just figures out how much you need. It loads it up. It's wonderful.
Nature Boy says the Costco jail is no joke. Have you done some time, Nature Boy? If so, how long? I don't like it because everybody that works there is pretty tough looking. They wear the jeans and the steel-toed boots. Like I am not.
When was the last time you were in Costco?
1990. I used to go with my folks all the time in Saskatoon.
But I
was part of a family.
Like you haven't been around you haven't gone in a while.
Not in my adulthood. No,
well, then you gotta come. I gotta take you.
I can't. I'm not allowed.
I
They don't want
take
me.
you.
I don't want them.
I want you to be my guest. You don't have to buy anything. I'll buy you a hot dog afterwards or a pizza. I'll get you something from the concession.
A hot dog.
It's a good hot dog. It's a Polish dog.
Stupid Asso says, love Costco, can't stand how they check your receipt. I do remember that. They still do that, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to hand it as you mark out, they mark it. Apparently, it actually does work.
And what if you get caught?
Well, that means you're stealing something.
Yeah, and then back into Costco jail.
Yeah,
so
well,
I
don't
could really
steal
get,
something.
I could get life, 20 to life here.
But don't steal something.
Your receipt doesn't match up, and you're not a card-carrying member? To the gallows, they'll say.
Well, you wouldn't have been able to pay without being a card-carrying member. So you wouldn't have any. It would be on me. It'd only be on me. The only person going to jail here is me.
Getting a lot of invites here. It's kind of nice, but I don't really have the appetite. We're having a knock on the door. I'm going to get the door. You do a sports update.
Oh, yeah, Sports Center.
Let's do that. Hurts for James H. Brown. That'll be coming up after Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. I imagine that's who it is. It's the Nielsen Show. Lieutenant Eric, Matthew Iwanyk with you. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up next. Sports update here with Matthew Iwanyk.
A Bengals failed a 2-point conversion in the final minute, helped the Ravens escape Thursday night with the season sweep of Cincinnati, winning 35-34. Baltimore improved to 7-3, while the Bengals fell to 4-6. CFL Divisional Finals go tomorrow with the Toronto Argonauts in Montreal to battle the Als, and out west, it's the Riders. They're meeting the Bombers in Winnipeg. Winnipeg Jets, they continue to stay red hot as they shut out the Avs 1-0. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Flames fell to the Bruins 4-3 in overtime. Islanders beat the Senators. Predators dropped another one, losing 6-2 to the Panthers, and the Canucks beat the Kings 4-2. Next up for the Oilers, they're in Vancouver tomorrow night. Edmonton Oil Kings, they're in action tonight out in Medicine Hat. It'll be the Battle of Edmonton down at Clare Drake as the University of Alberta Golden Bears host the McEwen Griffins. And NBA action yesterday, Timberwolves beat the Bulls, the Jazz fell to the Bucks, and the Spurs knocked off the Trailblazers. This Edmonton Sports Talk update, it's brought to you by Sit and Sleep. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months interest-free. Apply now to be entered in to win your purchases of up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Sit and Sleep. Find them next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton. Comment up next. The final 30 minutes of the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric for this week. I'm Matt Iwanyk. You're up to date.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
You're tuned into the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, streaming on the iHeart and TuneIn radio apps, and as well on YouTube. The pursuit of changing 200 continues. I think we're inching ever closer here. 195, so we can hit that easily as we make our way to our third guest of the day in studio as well. And if you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel today. It'll go a long way for both you and us. Dustin Nielsen off, Lieutenant Eric Matthew Iwanyk in for you today. 780-218-9999 is the number to text. You'll be wanting to text that number shortly, as we'll have $50 on the line to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. Following our next segment, it's one of the best on the show for the week. It is the Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week, and we are joined in studio right now. This is all good, Maddie. Hey, we can kind of get him up here on the shot and everything.
Oh, you want to go? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
We're doing that hurts. We'll get to that hurts after.
Yeah, that hurts after. We'll do that after the Beer of the Week here. Sorry about that. It's just kind of a moving pieces on the show. Two-man show today, but we are joined in studio by Randall. Last name pronunciation? Gillett. Perfect. Thank you. Welcome. Thanks for your time as well. You've got quite a candy lineup here. And you're from Raven Wolf Brewing, Spruce Grove. Can you tell us a little bit about, it's always the who, what, when, where, and why with these breweries. Everybody kind of has an interesting story of how they get set up, the idea behind it. How did Raven Wolf Brewing come to be? Was it always in Spruce Grove? Just get a little backstory on the brewery if you could.
Yes, Raven Wolf was always in Spruce Grove. And how we got started is I had been part of another company, had bought into it. We got bought out. So we did really well. And my wife and I were talking, and we came to the agreement that I would suck at being retired. And so we thought, well, let's look at starting the brewery we've often talked about. So we started thinking about it. And then that was actually one of the things we really, we looked at different places to start up, but it was really important for us to start in Spruce Grove because that's a community that my wife and I have been in for quite some time. We raised our family there, so that was a big aspect of it. And then the Raven Wolf, we got the name. Originally, we were going to look after something more English style in like they have Crown and Anchor or Dog and Kitty or whatever. So we got talking about, what about, Raven and Wolf, Wolf and Raven, and one of us just put Raven Wolf together, and it just that was it. So,
kind of that weird pubby name type of, you just kind of take a couple words and combine them. And
right, my Scandinavian background with Odin and having ravens and wolves, and incidentally, I'd learned this years ago, but my name Randall means protected by wolves. So there's a lot of tie-in. And then after we actually started the brewery, someone had told me that in indigenous culture, it's often when you see a raven and a wolf together, that's victory in battle, or it's a good day for you.
Oh, I love this.
So anyways, that's Raven Wolf. But really, fundamentally, for us, it's an extension of what we used to do in my basement when I homebrewed. It's just a way to, we wanted to make a space for the community to come. And we're really big believers in building community. And that can be not just Spruce Grove, but wherever we go. This great big world of ours, I think we need to engage more as people. And so that's kind of what we try and do everywhere we go.
Yeah, now you guys have I know some breweries, you're just brewing the beer and that's it. Perusing the website right now, ravenwolfbrewing.com. You got a lot up here. You got a big, extensive food menu. You got some gear for sale. How can people kind of check you guys out in the flesh? You go in kind of a restaurant, pub setting, that type of thing out in Spruce Grove? Or?
Yes, very much so. And so we're open we open at 11:30 Monday to Saturday. We're closed Sundays.
Okay.
And then we're open till 8 Monday to Thursday and 10 Friday and Saturday.
Beauty. And as I mentioned, check out the website. Great looking menu right here with a lot of options. But let's get into the beer of the weeks. What are we sampling? What are we trying today?
Well, we brought 4 beers, but obviously the feature beer of the week is the Riona's Irish Red.
Beauty.
Which incidentally was our the very first beer we brewed at the brewery. We kind of brewed that mostly as a scaling thing. And it was based off a homebrew recipe where I'd actually won a significant award off of. But anyways, it's been a huge seller for us. So that'll be the first. And we also have our community oatmeal stout.
Okay.
Right? A Buried Treasure, which has been very popular. And the funny thing is we started Buried Treasure on Shauna from Bokeh Berry Farms reached out to me about doing a collaboration with her Hascap berries. That's
a popular berry. Hey, I've heard a lot about that.
I had to go look up what's a Hascap berry. I'm looking up. So we gave it a go, and I never really thought it'd go anywhere. We did one batch, it went away, people begged us, so it's been on as a regular ever since then.
The Hascap, the power of the Hascap, I love it. Are you more of like an ale guy, or what do you kind of prefer, just personally yourself? Lager, ale, that type of thing? The stouts, as you mentioned, you have some here today, but...
I like, I really like good beer.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's good to be monogamous in marriage, but promiscuous in beer. Try lots of them.
Great saying there. Put that on a shirt. Hey, I'll take 2. Well, do you want to dive into one of these? I mean, I'll crack them open. Do we got a? Oh, perfect. Love it. Oh, and Raven Wolf Red. I love when the glasses get brought in here. This is awesome. I don't know if you want to pour here, but Raven Wolf Brewing is the beer of the week today. Yeah, for sure. Maddie wants to play along. You had whiskey earlier today. A little beer won't hurt you. RavenWolfBrewing.com. That's where you can go and find them. Great website, as mentioned, a full menu. I love it. I love when these breweries have just a little more than beer and can offer you a lot in a good afternoon, some good times, some laughs down there. They got a gear store as well. And this Irish Red Ale, this is the beer of the week, correct? For Sobeys and Safeway. It's the 4-pack deal. Yeah. You can check it out today. I love a good red ale, boys. So cheers.
It smells
great. To your health, yes. It smells great because we have no nose hair left from the waxing yesterday. Well, I knew beer of the week would hit hard. We all waxed our nose yesterday in this it was great. I can smell everything. Nice. The aroma from these things, these beers are great, but
goes down
delicious.
Nice and
great red ale. Yeah. Where can I ask? You mentioned the idea for the names, the name of your brewery, the name of these beers, obviously. The Scandinavian background, but who does the art for the cans? Is that an in-house thing? Is it kind of a?
It's kind of evolved. We started with one person and has moved on to somebody else, and then my wife's been quite involved, and we've done a number of we've talked about different things.
Yeah,
it's really not my forte.
Yeah,
most of the names I've chosen turned out to be, well, that really sucks, Randall, and
that's not a bad name for a beer. That really sucks, Randall. Yeah. Get the 4-pack.
But this is just really an easy drinking beer. I'm surprised how well it took off, but it's been a staple since day one. I didn't know it'd go as long as it did. Incidentally, it is actually by volume, it's our number 1 selling beer.
I do, again, want to explore your brewery more so just without the beer, as we do have the beer of the week here, the Irish Red. We'll try a few other samples, but you got some events as well. I mentioned the kitchen, the menu. You guys have an option for live music, that type of thing. What can people expect in terms of acts, I guess, that you guys put on?
More up and coming artists.
Yep.
Right. We have a very small area. So typically what we'll do is charge a small cover, and then that all goes towards the artist. But we only see, 44, 45 people at the brewery. So, but people come in and they'll play their stuff. So it'll be singer-songwriter, maybe small bands. Right?
Nice and cozy atmosphere, though. Hey, that type of thing, like an intimate experience.
Yeah, we do comedies as well. We have a trivia once a month usually. We do different art things. So we have a number of different options for people to come and experience the brewery in a different way.
We're joined today by Randall, founder and owner, Raven Wolf Brewing in Spruce Grove. We mentioned the menu. We mentioned the events. Are you guys looking to, I mean, I guess you said retirement and everything, but with these ventures, you always kind of want to be with an eye to the future. Is there anything else you're looking to expand in terms of your beer lineup, merchandising, anything like that? Any dreams to come for this brewery?
Really, I just want to see the brewery grow and become... We are in a number of spots throughout Alberta, but I continue to grow throughout Alberta, and we'll see from there. In business, you're either growing or dying. And
exactly.
So we continually want to grow, and I started this when I was 60, and I said at 80 I'll reevaluate when it's time to look at if I want to do something else. But and incidentally, our general manager is also my daughter, and I'm teaching her eventually to take over the business, because ideally in a perfect world, it'd be nice to be involved, but it'd also be nice to be involved in January, where I'm reading reports on a balcony in Mexico.
No doubt, man. Yeah, you got it. It sounds like you got it all cased and planned out there perfectly. That's the way to run a business, man. That's it. You do have beer, and we'll get into more down the line here, I guess, if you'd like. You do offer more, though, than beer at your brewery. Can you tell us a little bit more of the drink menu, I guess, for people who don't jive with the alcohol, maybe cider fans, wine fans out there as well?
We have cider on tap. We have both red and white wine, and then we have canned cocktails. I believe from Wildlife Distillery.
I'm seeing a Beerzer.
Yeah, and then we make up cocktails, and we've had different things from shandies, Beerzers. We did one, and I don't know if we still do it. It was actually patterned after an old fashioned, if you can believe it, with a beer base. Yeah, it was very good. The Berry Treasure, we make a cocktail with that. We add a bit of gin to that, which is actually really spices it up, in my opinion.
Mexico sounds a lot more better with one of those in your hand. Hey, I tell you. It looks like a very extensive menu, both the beer and, again, for non-alcoholic, which is taking off as well. You got options there for the non-alcoholic wine. You do offer the off sale as well at the brewery, but also with Sobeys and Safeway liquor, so it's good. Did you want to sample a couple of more here?
Sure. What would you guys like to try? I got a stout, the fruit beer, the Berry Treasure, and I got a Skull IPA.
You pick, Matty. What do you think? Yeah, let's get that Hascap. It's so popular, hey, that Hascap. It's the thing now.
And this is actual real berries that were grown.
Oh, that's a great color. God, that looks delicious. Thank you very much. Again, the full smell here today. Hey, Maddie, we are jet clean in those nostrils.
But a beautiful looking beer.
It's a great color.
Yeah. And it's all fresh fruit that we actually put into a Vitamix to spin it up so it's liquefied and put it in. It's,
the Berry Treasure Hascap Wheat Ale. And, let's get into this right now. Great art on the cans. It really sticks out. I feel like there's so many breweries nowadays. You go to the candy shelf in the store and you're kind of get mesmerized by everything, but you want something that kind of sticks out and jumps out at you. And these cans certainly do that.
Well, thanks.
Here it is.
To the CFL playoffs.
Berry Treasure. Yeah, absolutely. CFL playoffs.
Oh, that's nice.
Very refreshing. There's no what is it? Is it a little? It's not sour, but it's kind of it's got a bit of a punch to you, but you don't make a face or anything. It's
not overpowering.
It's very enjoyable. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Like
the phrase I'm looking for.
When I was reading about the Hascap berry, it said it was almost like a combination between a blueberry and a raspberry, and so I think some of the tartness you get is
that's what it is.
It's just the raspberry. It's on. We haven't tried to sour it or anything. It's just it does have a bit of tartness. So
Rob from the Grove says you are going to love this. It's one of my favorites. I'm sure he's talking about the brewery in general. I don't know about any specific beer, Rob. People texting in beer me. They want it already. A few good post-rugby beers have been had at Raven Wolf. T-Mac, the rugby guy, says as well. So, take it from him and take it from yourself there as well, Randall. A good place to go. Again, not just a brewery that you can pick up beer at Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, but a place you can come in, have a bite, enjoy a show. Yeah.
Looking at the photos on this line of just the food, like,
Well, I know.
I'm hungry.
It's a busy menu too, Matty. Hey,
they've got a good cheesecake. Also, like they have, you guys have a couple of Jamaican things, Jamaican patties and Jamaican jerk flatbread.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have a jerk chicken as well. So that comes more from my wife's heritage.
Okay.
But it's been really popular. And today's Flatbread Friday, so I pretty much know for lunch I'm having the jerk flatbread.
Is that kind of your go? Like if you were to recommend a menu item, and I know it's all good as you would say, but Friday's the deal, Flatbread Friday. But you got handhelds, you got burgers, you got extensive appetizers, shareables, that type of thing, dips, sweets. Like what do you kind of what's that number one seller on your menu? Would you say?
It'd be probably the Reuben sandwich and the beef dip are probably the biggest ones. But honestly, I mean, if you're in there around lunchtime, soup and sandwich for $13, you can't go wrong.
Not
and
bad.
Plenty of food. And then if you think about it, you could have soup, sandwich, and a beer, and you're just over $20, right? And
easy
with tip and tax. So that's a pretty good deal.
Better than a Costco deal, I'd say, Matty. Hey, come on now. Can we try another one?
Absolutely.
Is that okay? Yeah.
You want the IPA or the stout?
What do you think, Matty? Where do you want to take the last one? Shoot. Okay, let's do the IPA. Let's try the IPA. And this one is called the Skull IPA.
And it's actually means cheers, right, in Scandinavia.
Oh, beautiful. Well,
this one's a little bit bigger at 7%.
Love it.
But
a little bit of that Haskep in there. Doesn't mind for the color.
It'd be a more traditional IPA. So there is some malt backbone to it, but all the bitterness. I always say I love the bitterness because I'm so naturally sweet. It kind of offsets me.
Look at this guy. God, I love it. You're a beauty, man. Cheers to or skål to the
skål.
Yeah, skål to the skål.
Skål.
Delicious. Yeah, that is. If you're an IPA, that's where it's at. The skull again, and it's got the guy in the wolf, or the wolf with a tuxedo on type of thing. Get it on the camera there. Yeah, very good. Delicious stuff. Delicious stuff. Once again, we are with Randall, owner-founder, Raven Wolf Brewing. You can check them out in Spruce Grove or online, ravenwolfbrewing.com. And let's do this right now. Text Beer Me, 780-218-9999. You know how it is on a Friday. Text Beer Me. We'll throw you all into a hat. And one of you lucky people will be winning $50 to Sobeys and Safeway liquor. Once again, beer of the week is this delicious Riona. Am I pronouncing Riona's Red Ale.
Riona's Irish Red.
The Irish Red. That's the beer of the week in the 4-pack from Sobeys and Safeway liquor. We might as well try the oatmeal stout while you're here. I mean, if we don't get you in studio every day.
Absolutely.
If we can. Yeah. Oatmeal stout time. Once again, check them out in Spruce Grove today. Rave reviews, a great food menu, lots of routes to go with the food. You got dips, you even got desserts, and the special today, Flatbread Friday. This is great. Great way to finish her off with a nice oatmeal stout. And this one, Randall, is called the
Community Oatmeal Stout.
Community Oatmeal Stout.
Love a good stout.
Any thoughts on this one in terms of naming, where this comes from? We know the skull is cheers. I mean, that's good. But what's with the community? What's the thought process there?
It came through a name change because we'd actually kind of didn't do our research good enough, so it was called Conspiracy before, but we dropped that and we came up with Community because it fit well. But it's also, once again, just I can't stress enough for my wife and I and for all of us, community is just so important to us. And I said right from the beginning, Raven Wolf isn't me. Raven Wolf isn't my family. Raven Wolf is all of us. It's my suppliers. It's my customers.
Yeah.
It's the people that I work with and that are employed by us. It's all of us together. And I think if we can work together, each of us building each other up, we can make a better community.
Damn it, you are preaching here. I love it. Spruce Grove as well, getting a new ball stadium built and a ball team. The prospects obviously out there. They're looking for a name change, a rebrand as well. That's got to be exciting for you guys out in the Grove too. And I don't know if there's any type of partnership there maybe in the future, but
there is actually. We've already been talking to them for quite a while.
Nice. Love it.
And so we're there. And then we're also we also do a specialty beer with like a private label beer with Spruce Grove Saints, the hockey team.
Great.
Right. We've done other private labels like for the Edmonton Ukrainian Society.
Love it.
So there's just, any way we can be involved in the community, we're just trying to look at all the ways that we can build up the community, because I think if we all take an active interest, in each other and build each other up. We just build a stronger community.
I'm getting emotional here, Randall. You are a beauty. Hey, well said. To community. To the community.
Round of clicks.
Community.
I'll give a round of clicks.
You bet. Oh, that is smooth. I love the darker beers. This is great. Community oatmeal stout.
That is a great dark, stout.
Very nice.
That smokiness or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and not too heavy. I mean,
perfect
it's
amount.
The smokiness you mentioned. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's very tasty beer. I mean, there's a number of ways we could look at this too. I mean, if we had oatmeal stout in the berry treasury, we had oatmeal and juice, so that's all like breakfast. But.
That's a perfect breakfast. That's a good hearty breakfast.
Absolutely. No, we're feeling good. This is awesome. Once again, Beer Me, 780-218-9999. This guy is a beauty. Go check him out today. Randall, Raven Wolf Brewing in Spruce Grove. Also online, ravenwolfbrewing.com. You got to check out this food menu. The beer is great. They got merch. They got live acts. They got a stage. Everything's going on there. And again, Randall Preaching Community. God bless you, man. This was great. Thanks for showing up here today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. And thanks again to Sobeys for featuring us in the flyer and for you guys for having us on. It's just a great way to get our name out. And this has been a really fun way to start off the weekend, really.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. Do you have the Sobeys song?
I do. Want to go with that?
We'll play them out and everything, and we'll get things situated. We'll be back with That Hurts and the rap as well in a matter of minutes. But, Randall, thank you again so much for your time and bringing in these beers today. Just delicious. Top drawer.
Yeah. Enjoy them. Thanks again.
All right, 8:54. We are wrapping things up here on the Nielson Show. Lieutenant Eric Matthew Iwanyk with you. Changing 200. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Matty.
Nope.
You were 200. I love it.
I'm not used to these hotkeys.
I know.
I'm not here too often.
Especially after the morning we've had. You've been chewing gum.
Well,
You've been
I will
drinking
say
whiskey.
this.
And,
I've had
sampling
some
beers.
whiskey, and
Yeah.
now I've had some beer. I'm going to have a hangout today. I'm going to have a hangout today.
And it might hurt you later on in the day. That hurts for James H. Brown Injury Lawyers. Later on, but that doesn't matter.
That'll be fine. I could get a nap in.
That's future
Iwanyk's problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
That Hurts brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Check them out today, jameshbrown.com. I'll tell you what doesn't hurt, and it's these beers, and I think we need to give them a little more love. You had them all here today. The Skol IPA. You had the Community Oatmeal Stout, which was... I mean, again, fantastic if you're a stout fan. The Riona's Irish Red, that is your Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. And the Berry Treasure, the Haskap Wheat Ale. It is That Hurts. We usually go with things that hurt. Again, we're going the opposite way now.
I do have a... Well, we talked about it earlier.
The gum.
Well, actually, the whiskey...
That crunch hurt me.
I will say, it wasn't the gum that hurt. I was disappointed that it wasn't chewy or anything.
But you're feeling fine. You're alive. You haven't dropped dead
yet. It was the
yet.
whiskey earlier in the morning. There was a point where my stomach hurt. That hurt. The stomach was hurting. The whiskey a little early when there was no food in me. There have been no food in me today, so that
You need
hurts.
one of those Dorito bags in the freezer.
I'll need to grab one of those.
You got it.
The other thing is just if the CFL does announce today that the Grey Cup is going to 2026, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts.
I was thinking of bringing that up again because
I guarantee that probably would hurt Trent Brown. I would bet Trent Brown would love to have the Grey Cup here back in Edmonton. So that would hurt Trent Brown.
We were at the golf tournament earlier this season, and he was saying, he was very excited both the hockey season, the Elks kind of a dawning of a new day and everything. Of course, they've named Chris Morris. And it is. And the organization should be happy and moving forward lockstep. I mean, the good days, but again, this announcement today, right? Do we know a time? Is there a...
I didn't see the press release or anything, so I'd have to go do some digging. Okay. I would assume like an 11-ish or something that usually happens.
Okay. Hopefully before you're done the hangout, I'd love to break news to you again and slide it across the broadcast desk to you. And you can...
First time I meet Ryan Hodgkinson from Daily Hive, and I'm just going to go off. in the middle of a show.
Maddie's going to be spicy. Hang out 9 to 11 today.
Well, I know
EST.
you see in the nasty chat, Maddie's flying. There's a lot that's at play here today.
It's Friday.
Well,
You've done
Friday.
a great job. All
I've
these
had my
2 weeks,
whiskey,
and as you should. You deserve it. You deserve it.
I had the bubble gum from Indiana Jones and Magnum PI.
Your nose is completely clean.
My nose is completely clean. Raven Wolf. It's also the end for me for these mornings. For this week, right? Like, to me, I'm not a morning person. I don't do mornings.
No, and strong arm through it.
Knowing that that's almost over for the week. Trev's back on Tuesday. I'm thrilled by that. It's just, there's a lot happening at once.
Yes, it's a very emotional day, and it is a Friday, which adds to it all. So Maddie can be forgiven. He's having a good time, and as you should be as well. And if you want to, once again, Beer Me, 780-218-9999 is the number to text. And for that Sobeys and Safeway liquor, $50 GC. That does hurt, though. The announcement coming today in Calgary, which we expect will be a Grey Cup announcement. But what else is attached to it, right? It can't just be them saying, here's the Grey Cup. Now let's all go home.
But even then, it's not. I don't care about the stadium part of it.
I understand.
As I said earlier, I could live with this as a CFL fan. If this is the CFL giving something to the Flames, because they own this team, in return for the Flames giving a damn more about the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah.
If in that marketplace they are going to give a little bit more of a focus and attention to the Stampeders, then I'm all okay with this then. But if it's even if it's just renovations, I'll still be annoyed.
Andrea from Calgary chimes in, Parachute in box. A local news reporter is saying the announcement is at 9 a.m. That's when the hangout starts. So we should have all the information during the meet of the hangout. Oh, I love this.
The hangout won't start because I'll be watching this press conference.
That hurts for James H. Brown injury lawyers. Check them out today, jameshbrown.com. Let's get into the wrap now for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours.
Well, this isn't William Huff behind me, just behind you. I can't even do this.
You can't do that.
No,
this is
just you.
You're taking my bit.
This is not William Huff behind me. Just behind Eric.
Visit the team, WilliamHuff.com, in business since 1952. So you know they're incredible at what they do, WilliamHuff.com. Also visit them on Instagram. Really great Instagram account, very interactive as well. What did we learn on the show today?
I learned that you can't, at this moment, we'll find out if I wake up tomorrow, but I learned at this moment you can eat 30-year-old gum.
You'll be fine.
From packages of cards, from Indiana Jones, and from Magnum PI.
I think you learned you can't chew the gum. You can eat it. You can
can't
swallow
chew
it, but it's not chewable. It dissolves in your mouth into it.
We'll see if I wake up tomorrow.
We got a big day tomorrow. Miami playing Georgia Tech at 10 a.m. You got to be ready to go.
So, but that's what I learned is that you can actually put the 30-year-old gum in your mouth.
And you've lived to tell the tale.
At this moment, I've lived 2 hours to tell the tale so far.
I learned that I'll probably never set foot in a Costco again because if I do, I could be facing 20 to life in a Costco prison.
I'm not so bad.
What?
I want to take you now.
Well, I'd love to go, but I can't.
Yes, you can.
I don't have the proper credit card, nor do I have a business ID.
I have it all for you. You just join me. It's 2024. They don't know who you and I are.
It ain't happening.
Okay, fine. Miss out on the samples.
I don't want them. They don't want me. A lot of people offering to take me for lunch, and that's where I'm going to go with this text of the day. Text of the day for A&W. Once again, tomorrow is Oilers game day. Oilers visiting the Canucks out in Vancouver. The Mama Burger, $5.25 for a Mama Burger and medium fries tomorrow at all participating A&Ws. And get the 2 Mama Burgers for $9.99 today as well. Maddie V says, LT, I'd gladly take you for lunch at Costco. That's really nice for somebody to offer to take me to Costco. Nobody was really offering too much, so it's nice to get an offer from somebody. Maddie V, you might be taking me to Costco, but you are going to A&W. You win text of the day. Also, I saw a few texts in the background. He's got his son decked out in the Rough Rider Obsidian jersey, giving a thumbs up in front of a television screen, to which I am paused cheering. So little extra points for that as well. Maddie V, you are off to A&W. What are we watching tonight? Anything tonight in the MACtion? Conference USA?
Actually, that's a great question. Let me pull up.
There's got to be some Friday night slate in the college football realm. It's Sid Novi in the NHL on the ice. A light night in the NHL, not a lot of games scheduled, but one of which we'll see Washington hosting Pittsburgh, two teams going in different direction. Original 6, Leafs at home to the Red Wings, the Kraken hosting the Golden Knights.
You got Wake Forest in California on the ACC network, ACC action. American action, Rice in Memphis, New West Michigan, South San Diego State, and New Mexico. But on Fox tonight at 7, you got some Big Ten action. As nothing screams Big Ten like a game in LA, as UCLA is playing host to Iowa at the Rose Bowl. That just screams Big Ten.
I might have to PVR that.
That's
maybe watch it tomorrow.
But you can watch Iowa, UCLA on Fox. But for the most part, I don't know. Is this me? I find on Fridays I watch the least amount of sports over the course of a week. Today's a day like where I usually go home on a Friday night and I don't watch sport.
Well, given what we do, it's that one chance to kind of...
Outside of Friday Night Football in the CFL, it's the one night of the week I feel like, okay, well, we don't have to talk about anything that happens on Friday or Monday. We can
be forgiven.
This is the one night where I actually kind of just like, I'm good.
Well, and this Friday, again, today really doesn't mean anything aside from Sid and somebody in the nasty chat, Big Maple, riding Vandy until the wheels fall off. Let's go. Whatever. I mean, whatever your flavor is. But tomorrow is a day. Oilers Canucks, GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola, postgame show as well tomorrow. You got the CFL Divisional Finals, college football slate, NFL going down week 10 Sunday. It's all going off. Should be a great weekend, and we'll wrap things up there.
It's the final weekend before
Who cares
international.
about soccer?
Who does Pool got?
Villa.
Okay. Ooh.
Actually, this week can go a lot far in determining the top of the table. But the Nielson Show presented as always by Southport Chevrolet. Check them out today as well in Fort Saskatchewan. Go say hi to Daniel, Claire, and the team out there. And we are coming to you live, as always, from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. It's been a week. It's been a couple of weeks. And we thank you for continuing to ride with us. Dustin Nielson, he's smelled your candles. He's heard your prayers. He will allegedly be back Tuesday here. Once again, no show Monday, Remembrance Day. Get your orders in on the EST shop. Shop EST right now. The pop-up shop ends this Sunday, November 10th. Don't complain. Don't whine. Don't leave it till late. Order today. Order now. Nasty Club members, you do get a deal as well within the Nasty Club.
If you email me in like a couple of weeks, I'm like, hey, do you have anything? I will say no. Like that's
some people like that kink.
Or it's like in December, it's like, hey, Matt, do you have any hats for sale? I do not.
Yeah. Well,
I do not. So last few days for the shop.
I'm Lieutenant Eric. Thank you again to Will Fraser, all of our sponsors, our guest today, Chris Johnston, Herm Edwards, Randall, Raven Brewery. This is a great brewery, Raven Wolf Brewing. Check them out today, ravenwolfbrewing.com or in person in Spruce Grove. I know Rob in the Grove wants to take me. He's asking for my phone number. We might have to do a lunch date. But for Will Fraser, Zach, YouTube Trev, Matthew Iwanyk, everybody filling in, and all hands to the pumps while the big man's away. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great long weekend. And Hangout coming up next, 9 to 11. Your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA.